Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon from every time zone around this great world of ours. Anywhere where you can get internet bits. We're not tariffing anybody. Everyone can come in for whatever. I mean, some charges might apply. I don't know what your dial-up modem, what your cost per minute is on that. But if you got the internets, welcome here. Welcome to Toast AM. I am your co-host Paul, joined as always by the lovely Dave.
Hi, everybody. How are we doing today?
I can't speak for all the people,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna assume that their day is better now than it was 3 minutes ago.
I guarantee it, man, because you're here. I'm here.
Yep.
Yep. I got the charisma. You got the charm.
I have the what now?
I don't know.
I have I push the buttons to make the things happen and turn on and off.
You got the buttons. What make the thing do?
Yeah. So
you got an adorable dog.
I have a puppy.
That's a great way to meet women.
Well,
but I'm allergic, so
it's also a great way to meet large trucks and rabbits and mud. So
strangers that are the unmitigated goal to get out of their cars and their houses next door.
It's true. True. Although that's kind of stopped around here. Maybe my reputation now precedes me. Yeah.
Bella doesn't freak out when people just kind of randomly.
Oh no, people still like to see her, but I think they now see me and they think, I know. That's that guy who runs around just yelling no at the sky because I'm listening to apologists in my I walk my dog listening to apologist podcasts, and I'm yelling about how angry I am.
Do you ever find? I'm curious about this, and I have this thought, not just about you, but anybody that engages in your type of career.
Okay.
Like, do you sometimes find you have to mentally, like the YouTube space that you occupy is in many ways very different from the real world, right? And that's true whether you're talking about pop culture or politics or music review or whatever. Anytime you're in a niche kind of space where people have very strong opinions that 99.7% of the world is not aware of or care about in any way.
Yes, that I know.
But do you ever kind of find you have to, I can't react to people in real life the way that I react, or
for sure,
or people will say things and it's like, no, this isn't some kind of dig or thing. This is just somebody talking who has no clue or whatever, and you have to kind of change the way you think and talk and engage when you're, at the grocery store, right?
Oh, for sure. The grocery store is a great example because yesterday, as you know, there's some kerfuffle, some bad blood right at the moment between our friends to the south and us currently. And so at the grocery store, they've literally started taking American stuff off the shelves, or having more limited supply of American stuff.
Very much the same thing's happening here. People have very strong opinions. Yes.
Oh my God. Anyway, so while all this is happening, so the whole place seems consolidated, and you know what? Let's just Canada first right now. That's okay. We're not boycotting, but if we got a choice, I'm going to go with the Canadian one. Anyway, so the guy behind me in the checkout line, he was like, "Do you sell Trump beer?" And he's like, "Why don't you guys sell Trump beer?" It's like, well, first of all, I'm not sure that's a thing. Yeah. I'm not convinced that's really a thing. Also, I don't think you're catching the vibe of what we're trying to do here. But yes, but I just let that go. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. But also, no, you're right. At parties or whatever, people want to say, "Bless you," or "I'll pray for you," or they'll say innocuous,
or "Bless you," or "God bless you" when you sneeze, right? Like that. To the vast majority of the population, that means there is no religious meaning to it. It's just that's what you say when somebody's
I gotta or they'll just say the one that actually I hear a lot that drives me is well, I believe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
I'm biting my lip. Then I
Yeah.
am like, okay,
And you
this
just gotta
person doesn't think about this deeply. Like
no,
they're just, this is,
this yeah.
I'm not
Mhm.
going to ask you what you mean by that. I'm not going to, yeah. So you are correct.
Yeah.
I do need to temper s- so-called real world, you know, with this stuff. Is that, I don't know if that was actually your question.
Yeah. And even not even that, like sometimes because when you are engaging in active conversation like on the line or something, I feel like in some ways it's like you have to kind of be a little careful, but you want to carefully consider what you say because you don't want to accidentally say the wrong thing or
Oh,
get
for
right. Where
sure.
it's like
Yeah.
I'm
Cause
being very careful with the words I choose and how I go. Whereas
yeah,
if you're like
cause
you're just talking to a stranger at the bus stop, you're like,
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, on
Hmm.
the line, definitely. I would guess almost every host has had some Christian, or
Hmm.
somebody
Yeah.
who's not as well not generous, clip, you saying something out of context,
Yeah.
and that.
And it kind of like I heard the person actually brought this up was somebody who does like really in-depth music reviews, like
Oh, okay.
very technical, like album breakdown and production thing, right? And just like people will be like, oh, I really like the Taylor Swift song, and being like, there's just like, yeah,
Mm,
nobody
mm.
fucking cares what brand of amp was used, and
Yep.
like this is you and your 5 friends go over there, that's fine, yeah, and just having to constantly like regauge, um, and I feel like it depends how much you're going out and engaging with quote unquote the real world versus being engaged in online spaces. And I think there's just a disconnect between the way
Yeah.
people act online versus the way they act, in face-to-face conversations. Anyways,
Well,
enough about
yeah.
that. That's not what we're here for.
That's not what we're here for. We're here for the Art Bell. We're here for tonight, Dave.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're gonna get some crossover here with some other channels. Maybe this will really boost us because there is a subgenre on the YouTube that is
Hmm.
people listening to 911 calls.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that one. No.
So, the
Yeah.
publicly available 911 calls.
It sounds
And
horrible.
so that is what we are in for tonight because one of the guests of Art Bell,
Yeah.
he- as far as I know, he was not himself involved with UFO sightings. He's just a
No.
UFO. I believe
Yeah.
Kenny
He was like a
Young.
like a researcher slash sort of
Yeah, he was a
yeah.
researcher enthusiast, and he
Yeah.
managed to, from Freedom of Information Act, was
Yeah.
like, well, you know what? I would like to get the 911 calls from such and such a night in
Hmm.
Turnbull County
Yeah.
when multiple people saw
Hmm.
UFO encounters, and he packaged all those together and brought it to Art, and it's just fascinating to
Hmm.
hear. I hope, because I didn't listen to all of it, but I hope it's fascinating to hear.
I listened to a little bit of it, maybe even less than you, but enough to be like, okay, well, this guy isn't like he seems reasonably charismatic, and they're it's clipping along at a brisk pace, and the
Well, I
subject matter
do.
is somewhat interesting.
I
So
mean, I
yeah,
mean, everyone can weigh in, but these actually legitimately do to me sound like 911. They probably are the actual
I
911
suspect they
calls.
honestly are. Yeah, like
And so for me, part of what was fascinating, at least in the little
mhm,
bit I heard, was like police dealing with
yeah,
people describing, what they think was a UFO encounter. So,
yeah. I haven't heard these 911 calls, and I haven't, but like this
hmm,
is a semi in UFO circles. This is a famous
right.
incident, right? Like a known a thing because there were a number of sort of verifiable witnesses of
Well, a
something.
number of,
Yeah.
not but a number of
Not
independent
not
witnesses.
verifiable, independent, that'd be the word, yeah, like
Yeah, there were, so that they were getting calls from people who
yeah.
didn't like specifically know each other or court. It doesn't
Mhm,
seem
mhm.
so.
That it seems like it would be somewhat elaborate if it was some kind of hoax for no real reason, or
Yes,
but,
yes.
who can say? Yeah.
Who can say? Did I miss a super chat, Dave?
Oh, Paul, you absolutely did, from Olivia Williams.
We got Olivia Williams. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you.
Say hey, hello to the fellow Canadian resistance. I'm
What was
assuming
that?
you don't mean resisting Canada, but with you never know. We're
Well, that would be Quebec.
That would be. Although
Mhm.
even they, at this point are like kind of
Yeah,
in,
they've
in
come up like a classic family squabble.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, wait, we have an outside enemy now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. No, we can.
We'll get along for tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll forget who brought the bread to the you know gluten-free kid's birthday party
That's right.
2 years ago. Mm.
Mark Fernkov writes, was worried we'd have a 25% tariff on the show because it's Canadian. I can't be sure what's being charged to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if YouTube is levying any kind of charge against you. If so, I wouldn't pay it. Just see
Mm-hmm.
what are they going to do?
Drag him away in the night.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some kind of lawsuit.
I saw the documentary V for Vendetta. I know how this goes.
Mm-hmm. That's a very important.
We should mention too, Paul, that Scotty
Yes,
Orange graciously gifted 5 memberships to your awesome channel,
to the Apologia Live channel. We appreciate all of you. Appreciate you being here.
Yes.
We've given a bit of a preview of what's happening tonight, but Dave,
yeah,
as you know, I'm just going to briefly mention last week we had a bit of a kerfuffle with the good folks over at the Copyright Office.
Yeah,
and
we did.
You may have noticed that you weren't. If anyone didn't catch last time's stream right away live, you would have been unable to do that for a while. We were temporarily enabled. We're in somewhat of a dispute, so we're going to do our best better to not do that tonight. But less that happens, Dave. We have bills to pay here.
We do.
We can't rely solely on the stream being live because apparently not everyone wants that to be the case.
Nope. We have powerful enemies.
So, in that light, thank you for bearing with us, everyone. Thank you for the super chats, but we also do need to pay the bills. We need Dave to tell us what today's sponsor.
That's right. And you know what, Paul? I really am tremendously excited to talk about this week's sponsor. You, Paul, will be probably pleased to know that we actually have a returning sponsor this week. They were so pleased, Paul, with the results of their first ad that they have been clamoring to get on Toast to Toast again, which I take as a great sign, right? It means we're doing something right if sponsor's happy. And let's be honest, Paul, when it comes to inconsistent bi-weekly engagement on YouTube, we really are the only game in town. So that being said, I'll be honest, I tried to put the screws to them and drive a bit of a hard bargain. First taste is free, then you got to pay. But here's the sad truth, and I admit this casts aspersions on my business acumen, but I love their product so much that I wasn't really able to drive that hard bargain. I was excited to have them here because, frankly, Paul, I happen to know that this is a product that you personally, Paul, need in your life. I think you need to use this more just in your day-to-day activities. And I was talking to all your friends earlier, Paul, and we both agreed that you're just a little tense. You're a little wound up. You're kind of like a spring that somebody's just wound and wound and wound until you can't anymore. And one of these days, I'm worried you're gonna snap. And while personally, I would be highly amused to see you foaming at the mouth with bloodshot eyes, screaming various curses at the quote-unquote experts of capturing Christianity, I'm far, far too lazy to actually produce this show itself. So that means it's in my best financial interest to keep you mentally healthy enough that we can keep doing episodes of Toast to Toast. And how do we do this? How do we accomplish this fairly significant feat? Paul, it's so easy. So very, very easy. All you have to do, Paul, is dance. That's right, Paul. The good people at Dance have once again sponsored Toast to Toast, and I could not be more delighted. Not only are they looking to raise awareness of their brand and get the message out, they have an entire slate of new products available for their customers to try. Whether you're a dancing queen, dancing with a stranger, dancing in the dark, or having a dance with your father, all you have to do, Paul, is listen to the music, put on your red shoes, and dance the blues. You can do the Humpty dance. You could do the Neutron dance, the safety dance. You could do the dance macabre or the dance of the sugar plum fairies. But whatever dance you decide to do, make sure you say the last dance for me, Paul. And Paul, we all want to dance with somebody. So if you're lucky enough to have somebody in your life that makes you feel like dancing, then just lose yourself to dance and dance the night away. The more adventurous souls looking to branch out and try some of the more advanced moves could try things such as the log driver's waltz, the Batusi, the boot scootin' boogie, or the disco duck. With so many choices, Paul, the conclusion is obvious. You should be dancing, yeah. And there's even more, Paul. Dance has a very, very special offer for the watchers of this stream. Anybody who uses the promo code Toast to Toast, that's TOAST, the number 2 TOAST, when busting a sick move on the floor to receive at absolutely no extra cost, completely gratis, some parachute pants, boots with the fur, and a single sequin glove so that you can look your best when you are out there doing a dance. So do not walk, Paul, run. Get on out there and make like the Family Stone and dance to the music. Here's the dance.
Here's the dance. Cheers.
Here's the dance.
Wow, what a great sponsor.
I know. They do so much good. They do so much good.
I do need to dance more.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have wisdom.
Even a blind squirrel can occasionally find a nut.
But I don't want you coming in here. We've already got enough problems with the YouTubes.
Mm-hmm.
If the dirty dancing people want to come in here,
that's gonna be over on that's a Patreon exclusive.
That's a Patreon exclusive. That's on Toast to Toast After Dark.
It's Toast to Toast. Yeah. Yeah.
We're always after dark. I don't know what's happening anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't time zone switch, so I don't remember. Did it get later for you? It's earlier for you now.
It's now an hour later for you relative to me.
So you started an hour.
I am now the same time as Calgary.
Right. So you started an hour earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily dark for you.
I've got even more energy. I'm good to go. Yeah. That's why I've got so much pep in my step.
Now we're gonna have 5-hour streams.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of that's nothing.
Yes.
So, but speaking of the one thing we also forgot, if you look up in the corner, over there, we got it's a trivia night.
Trivia clock. Yeah.
It's the night where we ask questions.
Yeah.
These are not what we would call essentials.
No.
These are not things that you have to know to get through your day-to-day life.
No. The opposite.
They are questions about, trivia.
Yes.
So, and what often, and including today, the winner is eligible to win a Toast to Toast tumbler.
Look at the little trifecta of the
compliments of our show.
Yes.
And the fine folks at Dance.
The fine folks at Dance. Yep.
So
glasses to sponsor us. I never even thought of that. Yeah.
So did tell us about the theme.
The theme tonight is aliens. It's all movie and TV alien themed in honor of our UFO encounter show tonight. Yeah.
Is it ufologist or ufologist?
I've heard it both ways. I usually say UFOologist, but
that's what I was saying too. But it's so much more fun to say ufologist.
It is more fun to say ufologist.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, should I kick this thing off? It's been a hot minute, Dave. I wasn't even. Yeah.
Let's do.
I'd kind of forgotten how to kick off the thing here, but
let's do one, and we'll remember. We won't let it run out tonight, and while we're
ideally, and type the number that you think is the correct answer.
Oh yeah, pause it. I'll explain because we haven't done it, and we might have somebody new. I mean, I can't understand why anybody new would ever watch the show, but it is. So it's 8 questions. It is multiple choice. We're not doing all 8 questions now. It'll be scattered throughout the show. 8 questions, multiple choice. There'll be the question and then 4 answers numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. All you gentle viewer, have to do is type in the number and only the number of what you think is the correct answer. The number 1, the number 2, the number 3, or number 4. Paul has created a handy little scripto bot that will take everybody's answers and tabulate the scores. So at the end of the night, we will have a winner. The tiebreaker is how fast you answer the question, but usually we have an actual clear-cut winner. So
usually, yeah, it's better to get it correct than
better to get it correct slow than get it wrong fast.
Indeed. So now we need the. All right, we're gonna resume.
We're gonna resume the clock, and I will read the question out. But feel free.
I don't know the answers. So
yeah, Paul gets to play along too. All right, Paul. In Star Trek 4, what? This isn't the right trivia.
Oh no!
This
is the wrong one.
That's the time travel trivia.
Oh well. Okay. Let me regroup.
Did I send you the wrong thing? I might have.
Anyway, I will. No, but we'll just pause that. We'll just pause that. We'll.
Well, if that's the worst thing that happens tonight, let me check
on
and see. Did I send you the wrong?
Again, this is one of those trickies, that I don't actually double check.
Because Paul doesn't read them. He doesn't pre-read the trivia.
Game.
Nope, the one I sent you is the right one.
Okay, so it got imported incorrectly or something like that. Let me.
Or you maybe grabbed an older version of the spreadsheet.
Maybe. I'm gonna stop.
Well, you know what?
That's okay. So should we listen to a little bit of art while we're
we'll listen to a little bit of art while you try re-importing that. I can send it to you again if you need it.
Okay.
Employed at Telecommunications Board of Northern Kentucky, Kenny Young schooled at Southern Ohio College and majored in audio-video production. His interests include astronomy, religion, and, he says, skepticism. Now, what does Kenny have? Kenny has the entire enchilada that you've never heard. Kenny somehow got hold of the Trumbull County police tape of what occurred there. Remember that at the end of confirmation, those of you who saw it? This incredible sighting by police officers in Trumbull County, and at the end it was, of course, dismissed by a skeptic, just like that, as a star. It was a star, he said. And I think when you're through hearing what really happened, the whole thing, you will get a good chuckle out of what the skeptic had to say at the end. Kenny, though, says he is himself a skeptic.
I'm skeptical of his skepticism.
You're skeptical of his skepticism?
We'll see. Anyone, I feel like anyone who, well, I don't know. Anyone who goes to the Freedom of Information Act, and goes to get the UFO, maybe. Although, maybe I shouldn't be skeptical. Maybe I should be skeptical of my own skepticism of his skepticism.
See, so here, if you yourself often say if you saw irrefutable evidence of the existence of God, it would be intellectually disingenuous not to. So just because somebody says it a skeptic doesn't necessarily mean they have to disagree with the.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I agree. I'm a little skeptical of his skepticism too. So
I'm a little bit confused about what's happening on the whole trivia game here, Dave. I rechecked the questions. It is a different set of questions. Started again, and it went to that same question. So I'm going to keep working.
Okay,
I'm going to keep working. We'll figure it out.
You got to just clear them all out. You know what we could do in the meantime, Paul? I could read one of the.
Do that. Should
I explain?
Set that up.
I'll explain what happened. So as an experiment, everybody, I thought I would try and get AI. I'll get ChatGPT to write some trivia questions as an experiment, and if they're good, well, then I know that I can start playing trivia too, because I won't know the answers. Right? We can do it. So I'm like, but just as a test, I'm like, I'll get ChatGPT write 8 questions, and then I'll check them myself, and we'll just call this one experiment. So I did. I had ChatGPT write 8 multiple choice trivia questions about aliens in movies. There were some pretty good ones in here. Here's one, Paul. Here's an extra tricky one while you're working. Let's see how many people in chat know this one.
Yes.
Tell me, everyone in chat, if you can figure it out. Which film features Will Smith battling aliens in a movie titled Independence Day? Is it A, Men in Black, B, War of the Worlds, C, Independence Day, or D, The Martian? If you guessed The Martian, you are incorrect. It is, in fact, Independence Day that starred Will Smith in a film titled Independence Day. That was only my second favorite. My favorite, my actual favorite question was, where was it here? Which actor played the role of the alien V in the 1983 miniseries V? Was it Mark Hamill, Rutger Hauer, Richard Hatch, or Michael Ironside? I'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure none of those people were in V.
Michael Ironside was in V.
No, that's right. Michael Ironside wasn't V, but he's not the correct answer.
But he was very much a human in the character.
Yeah, the correct answer is Rutger Hauer, apparently. Yeah, who played
and technically Michael Ironside joined the cast for V: The Final Battle. He was in the second. No, he was not in the first miniseries. Only the second. So I think I managed to fix the thing.
You think we're good
by hitting refresh several times?
Yep. Okay. There we go.
But we'll. I guess I can put it up.
We'll try it and see.
We'll see.
Just funny because speaking of V, I think that is what the actual first question of the real trivia.
Oh, okay.
Concerns. Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. In the 1983 miniseries V, who was the leader of the alien fleet? The very first alien introduced in the series. Is it Martin? Is it John? Is it Jacob? Or is it Diana? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I do know. I will wait. I will wait a hot minute. I don't always know, but this one, as
You're
you know,
a big fan.
I'm the weirdo who knows that Michael Ironside was in the second series and not the first series. So
not the first series.
Yeah. Also, I guess this is from the first one.
Oh, I tricked a lot of people with this one, Paul.
The answer should be John.
The answer is John.
Yeah.
Diana was the second in command who does eventually kill John and take over.
That's correct.
But that's like 3 episodes in or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, the bow. Yeah, there we go. I got worried there.
Yep.
We got to blow the cartridge on the trivia game.
That was tricky. That was tricky of me.
That was a tricky one.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. So that's
all right. So that's the trivia. That's the trivia. So we'll throw up the trivia timer.
We'll throw up trivia timer. We'll pause the trivia clock, and we'll get into some Art Bell.
Indeed. We pause the game here. All right. And so we had Art. So apparently our man Kevin Young, Kenneth Young, Kevin Young, Keith Young.
Keith Young.
No.
Wasn't it? We were singing about it.
Singing. Kevin, I think. Anyway, Mr. Young, he's a skeptic. Art thinks he maybe compared to Art, he's a skeptic. We'll see.
Find out about that. It was last night after I got off the air. As you know, last night we inaugurated video streaming, the G2 system of Intel and Broadcast.com, in partnership, bringing you actual moving.
So this was 1999.
Yeah.
Hell of a year. Video streaming, Dave.
Yeah.
Did you know? I didn't know that Art at any point. I know they had the webcam in the same way I had a webcam on the Star Wars set, where it was like, I think every minute it took 1 frame. And that was that was to tease people.
Yeah. It was like an actual camera, digital camera taking a picture, a very low res picture.
But at very low, like it was like once a minute or twice a minute or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And uploaded onto like his GeoCity site.
So, but this is apparently, he's saying there was live video of some sort. I
thought he was using real media at one time.
Possibly that was that. So
yeah,
because real media, I mean, this was part of my whole. In 1999, Phantom Menace came out, 2002 was Attack of the Clones, but in 2001 was when we were attempting to do some of the streaming stuff for the first time.
Yeah.
And Real Media was our only chance. And that's actually how I got connected up with Apple again in the second time of my life.
Right.
Because Apple ended up paying us quite a large check
To use QuickTime.
Because QuickTime was trying to steal market share from Real Media.
Real Media. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all right around then.
I remember watching. I had the high speed internet, you know, and I remember watching some of the Art Bell.
But I'm now I never did. I never did. I'm now curious as to whether any of that footage exists anywhere. That would be cool to get.
Yeah. Not that I've ever seen, but yeah.
We should look into that for a future episode.
I'll see what I can find. Yeah.
We'll get our intern Kenny.
Yes. Kenny, find the Real Media clip of our
That's right.
Yeah.
Video of this.
We need an intern, and I would prefer that the intern's name is Kenny.
Yeah. I want Darcy.
Darcy?
Yeah.
Okay. That opens up perhaps more I think various more genders are named Darcy than Kenny.
I just like the idea of being able to like, Darcy!
Okay.
I need the Goldman file!
All right. Well, if you or anyone you know someone named Darcy who would like to be an intern for our show.
Unpaid. Let's
unpaid.
make that very clear.
Cannot stress enough how you will not be paid.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want some of this footage.
Yeah. I can't even say you're going to be paid in exposure. Not with a clear conscience.
If by exposure you mean spending too much time with me and Dave, then sure.
If you mean as a euphemism for hypothermia, it's very possible. Yeah.
Radio program. You can go up there and to my website, download the G2 player. It's free, and then come back after you have the player and click on streaming video, and then you get to see me here moving in actual motion doing the radio show. And you all
what?
I said, what? Moving in actual motion.
Right?
Yeah, and it was like him sitting at his his radio booth. Like, it was the most boring freaking thing.
Well, that's the thing, is that so now, I mean, it's funny because we are now at the point where we are live streaming in a way that is just light years beyond what Art could have done.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Listening back to Art's stuff. It's kind of, but they were, and I guarantee it was like,
because like his setup was not made with video.
No,
right?
No, so it wouldn't have been visually interesting.
Little like radio recording booth with like a bunch of audio equipment around and just him and a mic.
Yeah.
And like, his
one can argue that you and I are not in the Shangri-La either.
Oh, no. I mean, you can tell that I'm not an actual streamer. Like my
but at least we've designed it such that it's intended.
And stuff,
Right. Yeah. That's funny. And I love that we are now currently just off for the fun of it, just achieving what they were struggling so hard. I'm sure it was 240p. Like, it wasn't even 480. I'm sure it was 240.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
And like 10 frames per second, 15 frames per second, something like that.
But holy shit, you could see Art Bell live. Yeah.
Interacting with no one.
Without an actual like TV camera and TV studio.
I want Darcy, get on that. I would like some of this footage.
To get the audio, it is astounding technology. Of course, depending on the speed of your connection, you will see
maybe Darcy can figure out why this thing goes clicky
every now and then,
because it doesn't do it in rehearsal.
Just in case anybody thought we were a professional. I'd like to think that our shitty studio setups and audio foibles, it gives an era of verisimilitude. Like, this is real. This is grit. This is real life here, Paul. This isn't
it's relatable. Yeah. We aren't setting ourselves aloofly above the audience.
No, we're just like you. We're just regular good old Joes.
And Indiana.
Yes.
Oh, I went too far.
and then you get to see me here moving in actual motion doing the radio show. And you also get the audio. It is astounding technology. Of course, depending on the speed of your connection, you will see what I regard as astoundingly good videos. We are disseminating this to thousands of you, and it's all free. It's a grand experiment. Enjoy it while you may, because the news is the Federal Communications Commission. And by the way, I'm trying to interview the commissioner of the FCC. I've got a request in for a number of reasons I'll tell you about. We would ask him, of course, about that. But the commissioner has proposed low-power FM, and the radio industry is going absolutely crazy. And I happen to agree with...
Wait, the FCC was proposing streaming via low-power FM?
I guess.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Even in 99, they should have realized that IP was like, because even VoIP was starting in 99.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was terrible, but it was starting. That's interesting
Mhm.
it's interesting that, although you'd be hedging your bets. For sure you'd be hedging your bets that you need bands for all this stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you know what I learned?
What's that?
Oh, we might have even talked about this on this show before a while ago. That President Nixon, Richard Nixon, under his administration, proposed, although it didn't end up getting put through, basically a high-speed coaxial cable network, like a national one, just to facilitate future, because it's like, in the future we're going to need higher bandwidth cables, and we don't really know what we're going to need it for, but we're pretty sure we're going to need something, so we should get something that's better than just copper phone lines in place.
Okay, but when I worked for the phone company in your province, when I was a teenager, I'm so fucking old. Okay, so when I was but they were actually working on that very thing in your province as well.
Yes.
But someone, thank God, said, you know what about fiber optic instead?
Yeah, you got to, like, this is 1969 I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Right. Richard Nixon was not president in the 90s.
But in the early 90s in your province, they were trying to string coaxial everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they thought the big play for phone companies was going to be phone companies could also deliver cable TV.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, thank goodness, someone said, you know what?
Like, what about? Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's take all the money and government money and we'll do it. But coaxial or fiber optic cable instead. So actually, your province, for many years, was the envy of most of the world in terms of how much fiber optic you had everywhere.
We still have a shocking amount given our population.
Yeah. But fewer people care. But
But now there's like LTE and stuff, so it matters less. But anyways, I just thought that was like, you don't usually think of Richard Nixon. Like,
no, you don't.
Incredibly progressive, like in the 60s, being like, we should have some kind of high speed, high capacity cable network joining all of the major urban centers in the United States.
Philly 3000 says my dad played Tony in Alien Nation.
Do you remember Alien Nation? That was a great show.
The TV show or the movie? Because there was a movie.
Well, it was, but it was like a made-for-TV movie, right? I think. I don't think it was ever
a theatrical movie, and then they did a spin-off series. I think.
I don't think it was. I might be wrong, but I don't think it was ever in theaters. It was like either straight to video go, and then they did. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't remember. I don't remember which character Tony was.
No. All I remember is the aliens had spotted heads and were addicted to salt. Or salt was like a drug to them. It was like cocaine.
Was it a
theatrical? It was like
Alien Nation film.
It's a noir cop show. Yeah.
The film. Yeah, I think this went to theaters.
Okay. Well.
And then they spun off the. Yeah, because it was like 20th Century Fox. They didn't have a streaming place. Let's see, it's a theatrical release poster.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but I mean, they had even before streaming, there was direct to video.
There absolutely was. Yeah. There absolutely was.
Yeah.
your pop things. But there was, if I'm remembering right, there was an Alien Nation TV show then.
There was, yes.
And I think the TV show was better.
Well, it was like a cop show, so they just...
Yeah, it was a little cop show. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty cool, Philly.
That is very cool.
I wish I remembered which character Tony was, but anyway.
He was the taxi driver in Wings.
Oh. And also he was a taxi driver in the show Taxi.
Yes. Different Tony, though.
Different Tony, that's right. That was the Who's the Boss Tony. Yeah.
The commissioner on this one, and I would like to have him on the air.
We also have a member chat from Scotty Orange.
Oh, member chat.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Scotty Orange saying
one from Tommy Tucker way before.
Thanks for doing this tonight, Scotty.
And there was a super chat from David Glenn. Holy shit, we're just
we got off on some kind of tangent.
Yeah, we got off on a bunch. Well, I think it was the trying to fix the trivia thing. We were missing stuff.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. So I cannot get to, I don't think. Yeah, it scrolled. My little interface for putting things on screen has gone past. So do you? Oh, let me see if I can see here. Just to see it. We have Dave. That's one.
Yep.
David $4.99.
Yeah.
David, sorry I can't put it up on screen. Cheers for myself and baby Mel's Zol. Glynis, I wish I could put this on screen.
Melody Zol Glines. That's
Glines. Top shelf formula shots for the house. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
There you go.
All right.
And then we've got
we have Tommy Tucker. Have the planets aligned or something? I'm 100% responsibly drinking tonight and got to watch my first stream live. Fudge, welcome.
There you
Tommy,
go.
We hope that it will be all right. And before we actually we are now however many minutes in. We have not heard a single word from our guest yet.
There's also Scotty Orange.
I thought I did the Scotty Orange.
Did you do the one? Thanks for doing this tonight.
Yeah, I put that one up.
Okay, sorry.
That one I put up.
All right.
So we but now the trivia clock is almost up, so I feel like we may as well just go there.
Good thing Shannon's not here. She'd be losing her mind.
All right, so we're back to the game. Oh.
Back to the game. All you need, Paul, is an answer in a chair.
A chip in a chair.
Chip in a chair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all you need a you need a smart device of some sort where you can type things in the chat.
Yes. Maybe an iPad. I don't know. Hey, Paul.
Yes.
In The World's End,
mm-hmm.
a group of former friends uncover an alien invasion while attempting the Golden Mile, a pub crawl in their hometown involving how many pubs?
Damn.
Is it 20? Is it 15? Is it 12? Or is it 10? Movie 3 in the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, it's a good. Is it the? There's. I guess you're right.
What? That it's the
it's the third. I thought maybe Hot Fuzz was before.
No, Hot Fuzz is 2.
Hot Fuzz is before it.
Yeah. Darren, I don't remember is not a valid answer, even though it's.
I don't remember which one this is.
This is
I'm gonna go with a dozen. I guess I don't.
Oh, look at that! Genius ends.
Pulled it
out of the park because it is in fact.
I was leaning toward 10 for a long time, but I actually respect this, Dave. You're giving us some really good thinker questions.
We're not softballing it tonight.
Nope, this is good.
I even threw a Star Trek one in for Shannon, and she's not even here.
Oh well, maybe she'll join you.
Maybe she'll show up in time to answer it. Yeah. Did you remember to pause the trivia?
No, because I'm still watching it. I'm letting it roll down a little bit more.
All right. Let's do it with. I'm gonna shut up.
Well, let's listen to.
If you want, but I'm gonna let.
Maybe eventually we will get to 911 calls in our 911 call show.
Maybe, yeah.
you are a friend of the FCC commissioner, tell him Art Bell really, really, really wants to talk to him and give him some help with a grassroots movement, because otherwise it's going to get squished. Now, the other item I would like to ask him about is the per minute charge on the internet, because they are preparing, was told by CNN, to start charging you per minute to be on the internet, even though you're making a local call. And I agree with that. Well, okay, so we finished last night's program pretty.
I actually do vaguely recall that there were proposals about that.
Yeah.
To try and make your phone bill would somehow, yeah. But that's funny.
Yeah.
No one can figure out how to accurately charge people, so.
Intense stuff, right? Because I'm doing this for the first time with moving video. And I decide that I'm going to occupy my mind by fixing an amplifier, working on an amplifier. So I got the amplifier out and got it all opened up, and I was looking at it, trying to figure out what could possibly be wrong. And I reached up to the ashtray and grabbed my cigarette and smoked the wrong end, put the lit end of the cigarette into my mouth.
What? Oopsie. Put the lit end in.
I mean, I can see it happening, right? Like
you're
doing or whatever, and you just grab it. And, yeah.
But also, while you're on live stream, that's kind of funny.
Well, I don't think he did on live. I think he said he was just trying.
Oh, he's saying this is just at home. Okay.
Follow then, of course, could not be aired, and today I still have.
Oh no, it couldn't be aired. So all right.
Well, but he said what I said, but today.
Oh, what I said couldn't be aired.
Yeah. A big red mark on the inside of my lip. This is serious Darwin Award stuff. Why would they give somebody like this a radio program? I'm going to be on Larry King Live next Friday, week from today, as a matter of fact, and maybe I'll pose that.
See, that was where I heard Art's been on Larry King.
Yeah.
Darcy, after you've got the video footage.
Yeah, find footage of
and let me know, actually, I would love to know from our audience, would you be interested, so it'd be different, would you be interested in hearing Larry King interview Art Bell?
Yeah.
Because
that's in the comments.
This would be Art being interviewed. Get in the comments. Yeah. Let me know in the various chats. Or that be we could throw up a poll. Sure.
Yeah, why don't we throw up a poll while we're listening to some
all right.
more audio?
Because that sounds interesting to me, but maybe not everyone would be interested in about that.
Because if there's something I love, Paul, it's working the poll.
Yeah. I mean,
what?
One of the things I liked about Larry King, and this is like now we're just so up. One of the things I liked about Larry King was he also just asked random questions.
Yes,
because he actually wanted to get his guests to say things that they may not normally say.
Yeah.
And so he would just he'd ask you a question about your dog, and then he'd ask you a question about international politics, and he'd ask you about your favorite soda, and then he would just jump around so quickly that you might just inadvertently say something.
Yeah,
but
he might just be like, "Fuck the Russians."
Yep.
Why the hell would they give somebody like?
Yes,
we have another member chat.
Oh,
more member chats. This
member
is just
chats.
Raining. Yeah.
Is this?
It's from Joe Hill.
We got this one. Greetings, friends. Been a bit of time, but I finally caught a show. All hail Hole. Welcome, Joe Hill.
All hail Hole. Yes, indeed.
All hail Hole. See, that's the kind of thing people clip out.
I'm drinking a beer from our old hometown tonight. I haven't had one of these in quite a while. The old Grasshopper from Big Rock. Delicious wheat ale.
I need more beverage while we're at it.
Yeah.
Radio program anyway. I step into clear air, nearly kill myself. At one point, a couple of years ago, I glued my lips together, and now, if I sound strange to you, it's because I took a great big long draw on the wrong end of a cigarette. Pathetic. Really, really, really pathetic. And by the way, you cannot put a Band-Aid there. It's on the inside. All right, here is Kenny Young. Kenny, hi.
Hello, Art.
How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you.
You're in
people think that our show is disorganized and scattered.
Yeah. I glued my lips together once. Anyways, here's Kenny Young.
Here's Kenny. Yeah. I got a guy. My guest is waiting on the line, but here
I will say, as somebody I have in the past and still do occasionally enjoy making like models, I have absolutely glued my fingers together, like glued one finger to another with super glue. Yeah, especially if you're using accelerant to try and
Sure.
Yeah,
But your lips?
No, I've never done my lips. That I have a hard time seeing.
Although
seeing
I
that.
suppose if you are, so you don't smoke. I suppose if you were a smoker and you were both doing the adhesive glue stuff, and then I don't know how that works.
Yeah, like I mean, I could create a scenario in my mind where it happened, but it would be more, akin to a Looney Tunes cartoon than anything maybe that would happen in real life.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yes, sir.
Kenny, why in the world, how in the world, I mean, you have investigated, obviously,
Michael
other...
has the solution for us, Paul. We don't need Darcy. We just get Bella. Bella, go find footage of Art Bell on Larry King. All right? Good girl.
She's sleeping and she's not taking notes.
Well, we're not paying her, so it's hard
it's
for us to get upset. Again, can't emphasize enough. Not a paid position.
I mean, you and I don't get paid, so I don't see why anyone else.
Or definitely, if we ever start making money, it's not going to an intern. I'll tell you that right now.
Cases. In fact, you might want to run over a few of those. What kind of work have you done? And would you honestly, no, let me ask this first. Are you really a skeptic?
Well, yeah, I'm a skeptic. I'm very cautious about a lot of the material that's out there. I've looked at a number of cases and looking at quite a few of them from this area, from Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana.
Yes.
There's some of them that are pretty easily explainable. In some cases, they're not so easy to explain, but they're explainable.
Yeah, it's kind of like the reports we had from Peter Davenport, which were quite accurate about an object that was streaking up and was seen with a bright, very specific tail of flame on it. Turned out to be a rocket launched from Vandenberg at 2:30. The sightings we had were at 2:34 in Southern California. And so what they saw was what they described. They called it a UFO. It is now simply an IFU. Identified flying object.
Right.
So there is reason to be.
IFU. No.
IFO. You know what?
IFO. All right, fair enough.
Skeptical. But with regard to what happened in Trumbull County, you've heard the whole thing and we haven't yet. We're about to. Are you skeptical? They had a skeptic on confirmation, and I know you know about confirmation. You saw it, right?
Oh, sure. I was on it, right.
You were actually on it.
Yeah. The gentleman that was giving his explanation for the event.
The star.
Well, it sounds ludicrous.
Yes,
we all pretty much recognize that when he comes on NBC and announces that this is all due to stars or twinkling stars, and we look back at what happened with the officer and his patrol cruiser that shut down. And we'll hear this on the tape coming up, by the way. We don't really think that he's looking at this quite honestly. There's reason, however, we can go into the story. We can see where he's coming from with that. But I do have a problem with what he's saying there.
In other words, a star could hover over your patrol car, slam a giant light down on it, cause your engine to go out, and then when the star twinkles in some other prescribed manner, your car starts back up again.
Well, here's what I want to do. I want to try to maybe get into this and look exactly at this particular account and see where he's coming from with the star explanation that he's advanced. And I want to show why, that in this case, there's serious problems with that explanation.
No kidding. All right, listen.
Timothy Harmon, $5 super chat, wants to know, will your intern be eligible to participate in your profit sharing plan?
Well, I don't know if you were paying attention, but there are no profits. So sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Shares. Yeah. That's right. Well, we get shares. Diluted
You'll get paid
shares.
in shares. Yeah. Again, exposure.
Yeah, it's like the good old .com days.
Yeah. We're going to pay you in shares.
First of all, I want to know where you got this tape.
Well, this whole event started from, it was more or less something that I kind of blundered upon. I was looking into another case, and this was UFO report from Liberty, Ohio, is what it was called, that a researcher by the name of Leonard Stringfield from here in Cincinnati.
I know the name.
He reported on in one of his status reports, I believe. And the report said something like a lime green ball of light seen overhead smashes into ground, chief of police witnesses. And according to how the story went from that point, a clandestine recovery team from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base supposedly came out and retrieved some kind of object. So I was just fishing around through some of these reports of Leonard Stringfield, and I saw this one, and I said, well, hey, this is something maybe we can follow up on.
One case led to another.
I called directory assistant to get the telephone number for the Liberty Police Department.
Right.
The operator that was helping me out with the call actually...
Oh, my. Even in 99, if you're calling directory assistants, you get stuff. It used to be a thing, I guess. You didn't have someone's phone book. Yep.
It didn't have, you couldn't look it up on the internet. So,
we gave me
well, especially if it's not your town, I guess, right? Yeah, then you'd have
exactly right. That's
really
you're
know
traveling or whatever. Although you would stop at you could stop at any phone booth and it would have a phone book, like a white pages and yellow pages in it.
Right, but like if you for example, where you lived, if you wanted like a number in Moose Jaw, you'd have to drive to Moose Jaw to get a phone book that was relevant. So,
wrong phone number.
That's the name of a place, not something I made up.
She gave me the wrong Liberty, Ohio. Instead of giving me the Liberty Police Department, which was located near Dayton, I was given the phone number to Liberty Township, a department that was actually in northern Ohio near Youngstown. I didn't know this. I had no idea this was the wrong number, so I called the department.
Yes.
And I said, well, I'm calling about a UFO sighting. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm actually investigating some details about a UFO sighting. Oh, that was 2 years ago, was the response I got. And so I just started taking notes, and of course I didn't know I had a wrong number. And as I started gathering these details, I saw a picture emerging that was not what I had initially, set out to look into. But
Gee whiz, Kenny, this is how some of the greatest scientific discoveries of mankind have been made by total accident.
Well, Art, it was like a 2-week time period when I was actually
true, actually.
Yeah, that is true. But let me see if am I hearing this correctly? So he was trying to call about UFO sightings in one town.
Yeah.
Got the wrong town.
Yeah.
But they also had UFO sightings
2 years ago, and they're like,
2 years ago.
It wasn't last month. This was 2 years ago. What are you talking about? Yeah.
All right.
Making these phone calls before I totally realized that this was a separate account altogether.
2 weeks you were on this?
I had talked to maybe about a dozen people. Finally, I said, this is not right. I said, now, how come I don't have the details here like I set out to gather?
In other words, you were getting an entirely different story than the one you thought you were investigating, but you went on investigating for 2 weeks. Well, I don't feel so bad now smoking the wrong side of a cigarette.
And then I looked at this and I said, well, this is not the same case. And then right then I knew that there was something rotten in Denmark, so to speak. And
or
at that
Ohio.
point, I kind of set the original report aside, and I started doing some hardcore research into what was being reported here.
Well, all right, let us begin by asking this: what occurred?
Asking people that were in the right, not just dialing random numbers and asking about UFOs.
Have you seen it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. If this 2-year-old case theoretically isn't getting any colder, you could just keep hunting down the one that just happened.
Yeah. But nope. But he was on to something. He was on a hot lead.
That's right. No one else knew about this other one. So.
Trumbull County, you just said at the time you were investigating was 2 years prior, right?
Right. Well,
so where was the press on what happened in Trumbull County originally?
They were there.
I didn't see it.
The press was there. The press was on top of the story. But
are you reading the Trumbull County newspaper, Art? I'm going to go ahead and say no.
That's right.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, the Trumbull County Gazette gets that's at the top of my stack every morning.
Well, the press didn't cover this. You know what? You're sitting there in New Mexico. You don't know what they're doing in Trumbull County. Don't act like you do.
Art, you're not following the Trumbull County blog. They had blogs back then. Maybe they didn't have blogs.
They absolutely did not. Well, actually, no, they did. It would have been probably like on GeoCities. There'd be like some travel logs and whatnot. Yeah.
Zeke over in Trumbull County was all over this.
Yeah. Right
Which
in
makes
between
this-
the hog futures and the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on ICQ, and he was.
I can't do it high enough. Yeah.
story quite interesting.
I miss that. ICQ is. I don't know why ICQ. Like, I can't think of any reason why it kind of just disappeared.
I believe it ended up being purchased by somebody who ended up just shutting it down.
Yeah, I did.
Like
Took
one
what
of
they wanted
those,
from it and then
like
ran
one
it
of
to
those,
the-
just like
like
rest
Yahoo
in
or
peace,
somebody.
Skype. Skype just
Yeah.
got put down this week.
Yeah.
Microsoft, yeah, somebody who bought ICQ.
I feel like it was actually maybe Yahoo. Did Yahoo Messenger buy ICQ, and then they went, and then Yahoo Messenger also isn't around really anymore.
Maybe. Was bought by AOL.
There
AOL
you go.
fuckers.
That explains. Yeah.
Yeah. That rings a bell. And then AOL just went away, so ICQ went away. Gotcha. Oh, trivia time, Dave.
Oh my goodness. So tell me, Paul. We'll play our own little trivia game.
Yep.
What are some properties you think we're going to have trivia questions about tonight?
Oh,
Maybe.
with aliens. So
Yeah.
let's see. We could have maybe Alien, like the actual,
Mhm.
Alien
Right,
is
yeah,
a franchise. We could have Max and Me. We could have we could have, let's see, we could have the one was the aforementioned Independence Day.
Yeah.
We could have Spaced Invaders.
Oh, I forgot about space. Yeah, that would have been a good one, but no,
We
that
could
was
have
not in here.
the ET phone home.
ET's in there. Yeah.
We could have had I mean, theoretically we could have had the Star Wars or the Star Treks. Those have,
Well, you already know there's Star Trek because I told you. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. What else? Those are the ones that spring to mind immediately. We could have any of the Marvel films, I suppose.
I mean, the ones with aliens, they don't all.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the ones with aliens. Thor's an alien technically, so
But then
Yeah,
he's not. Thor's not in every Marvel film.
no, but he's in lots of them.
He's in lots of them. You're right about that.
And then they got the Guardians of the Galaxies and we
Well,
got things.
you know what, Paul?
Let's just see
suspense
what
is
we
killing
got.
me now. Let's find out what we got. Let's see how right you are. I'm really sad now there wasn't Space Invaders. I remember like both loving it and even as like a 12-year-old being like, this is not a good movie. But I still liked it. Hey, Paul, in
Star Trek,
this alien race is usually shown as a scantily clad, green-skinned woman. Males do exist, but you only see them in the animated series and a single episode of Enterprise. Is it Orions, the Ferengi, the Deltans, or the Andorians? Who are the green-skinned, often for some reason bikini-clad women, aliens in Star Trek?
I believe in the J.J. Abrams one, Uhura's roommate was one of these. Yes,
you are correct. Yes.
No, I know the answer, and the chat is largely on board there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, or past the Orion's Nebula.
That's a good point, Vishanti. Skrulls are aliens that shapeshift, so maybe there are aliens in every Marvel movie.
That's right.
Yeah, you got me there. Yes, it is the Orions.
Yeah,
it is the Orions. Yeah,
Orions. So the males have only been in.
there was a pirate crew of Orion pirates in the animated series. They're male, and then there was a single episode of Enterprise, the Scott Bakula one, with male.
Were they also scantily clad?
No, but they were green. Yeah.
And of course, Ferengi women they don't wear the clothes at all. So
yeah. Oh, Shannon just showed up. Too late for the Star Trek trivia. I specifically put the question in there for you, Shannon, and too late.
All right. Well,
when the Star Trek trivia passes by. You like that? It's a little poem.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it.
I didn't even know it. Yeah.
Interesting. They didn't report it.
Ha ha. Well, that accounts for my not hearing it.
Well, we're going to hear it on
Mark,
the tape.
Oh, I understand.
Of reporters.
That's nonsense. That's okay. I don't know if Mark's trolling, but that's
not
quantifiably incorrect. There's nobody who thinks Enterprise is the best Star Trek.
It's no longer the worst.
Oh, it's not even close to the worst.
Yeah.
No. But it's I can't.
Have you seen Section 30, whatever it is yet? Section 34.
It's terrible. We
haven't
talked
seen
about it. It's terrible.
Oh.
Like, it is just a bad movie. It's just bad. It's everything that's bad about like modern streaming movies mixed with just bad Star Trek.
Yeah. A few times
terrible.
I've asked Shannon, I'm waiting to watch it with Shannon, and a few times I've said, are you ready to watch? She's like, no, I'm not emotionally ready yet.
It is so bad it's fun in a way. Like it's really, really bad. Like it's
All right.
Yeah.
We have Webb who says, thank you for the stream specifically for my birthday.
Yeah.
That was why we had it.
Yeah. We were like, should we do a show? And then we're like, well, it's Webb's birthday.
And that's why the good folks over at Dance, they reached out to us specifically.
Yeah. Because
you're going to do a show on Webb's birthday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Cheers to you, Webb.
Cheers to you, Webb. Did you do the AZ Cat super chat? Did you catch that one earlier?
Boop, 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 boop. We're too distracted with too many things.
Yeah. This is why we need Darcy here to.
This is why we need Darcy.
Yeah.
Does
anybody want to be an unpaid producer for our show?
We actually had we did. I think we did do AZ Cat. Thanks for doing this tonight.
I might have forgotten.
I'm pretty sure we did, but either way, AZ Cat, you're welcome.
AZ Cat, you're amazing, and we appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
But not as much as Webb because it's their birthday. Nothing personal. It's just it's a birthday thing.
Yeah. You got to pretend to like people on their birthday.
Saying that the mainstream type report.
Like, I don't know. It's hard.
That has no aliens.
It does not. But it's hard to explain how like at the time, Quantum Leap was just so huge. And my whole family, I remember my mom, my dad, my sister, and me, every week, whenever it was like Tuesday, 7, whenever Quantum Leap was on, I don't know, we were there because you always had like the preview, right? Last week where it's like all of a sudden there's like a concert pee in his body and there's Carnegie Hall full of people and he's just like, oh, and then you're like, well, what's he gonna do? How's he gonna get out of it next week? And you'd have to. It was such a genius show that way. Yeah.
I recently saw a meme that just maybe it was I will butcher it, but it was the gist was if ever one of your family members or friends or relatives starts acting incredibly out of character, don't commit them to a home. Ask them if they're Scott Bakula here to save your timeline.
Yeah. Yeah. What does Ziggy say you need to do?
That's right.
Were there. They covered the story and didn't report it.
We're going to hear a Youngstown area television station, which is a channel 33.
Right.
In Youngstown, a reporter that's in the newsroom, and in some cases, I think this is pretty widespread, where they have police scanners in newsrooms and radio stations and so forth.
Absolutely.
Where they listen to this, and they're going to start hearing this, and they're going to call in, and that's even going to be reflected here on the 911 tape. Where the reporter calls in.
Oh, you're kidding. So he was well aware of the story, and you're telling me they never aired anything about it.
Exactly. And that's what makes this story pretty interesting.
It sure does.
And
that's how you know something true is when the media doesn't talk about it.
Regrettably, Art, I realized that the
makes you think.
Confirmations piece didn't probably have a lot of time.
That's right. They did.
This would have been a real compelling part of the story, is to make note of the societal factors involved in keeping the story from the public.
Kenny, did you call that television station? Did you follow up at all?
Oh, sure.
And did you ask them, hey, guys, gals, why didn't you report that which you investigated?
Right.
What'd they say?
Well, it's kind of like you're, not a runaround, but just basically a fudging out of the issue. Well, we were off the next day, and
This is Trumbull County, bitch. If it bleeds,
Yeah.
it leads.
If it's green, it's not seen.
We're
Taking that off the air.
we're not. We can't just give up the front page.
Yeah.
Don't you know that Wes's cow gave birth and we had to put that on the front page?
Wes's cow gave birth to triplets.
Can't be showing lights in the sky.
For you some twinkly light story.
Don't you know that some skeptic came out and just said it's twinkling lights?
I didn't win the Hawkeye News Award 4 years running.
On the same week as homecoming, you're coming in here with some story. Yeah.
And really, there was nothing to follow up on, and nothing ever came of it.
What?
There you go.
Oh, Kenny, come on. Come on. If it was even half as dramatic as was depicted on confirmation, then how could they? And they heard all this, right? You said they had a scanner.
Right. You know, it baffles me. I can sit here and scratch my head over it, you know, and try to wonder if it were me, you know, in the newsroom or in the capacity to write a news story. Of course, I'd have the inclination to follow up on it. You know,
maybe that's why you're not employed by a television station, Kenny.
Okay.
Now, you still haven't answered my question. And my question was, how did you get these tapes?
Well, based upon when I blundered upon the story back in '96, and that's when I followed up on it. And from what I could gather, I had some remarkable details of a saucer, a flying saucer with structure that rotated as if it were on an axis. I took all of this
rotated
data.
as if it was on an axis.
As opposed to all the other ways you can rotate.
Yeah. No, not in this. Not in this sky. We ain't having none of that. Yeah. Our helicopter rotated at non-Euclidean angles. Thank you very much.
A report, and I posted it on the internet on my website, and it sat there for about 2 years, basically, as a report. And I get a kind email from a gentleman who is actually with the Trumbull County 911 Center, and he sends me an email last year telling me that he saw my report on the internet, and he said,
well, let me interrupt you. Sorry, you said website, and I suddenly looked down and realized you do have a website.
Sure.
I'll tell you what, I don't think we have a link to it yet.
I think Mr. Rowland does.
Keith does have it up. Oh, good for Keith. He's ahead of me because I forgot to tell him about this. So, excellent. Prepare for a little bit of bandwidth cost because a lot of people are going to go see your website. You think you're...
Back when you're paying for your own bandwidth and stuff. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I can handle it, or will it crash?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right. So, now, back to where did you get the tapes?
Well, I get a email, and the gentleman tells me, he says, we read your report on the internet. We work here.
So he ended up writing a book, apparently.
Oh, okay.
UFO Dispute.
Okay. By Kenny Young. Forward by somebody. This is a book that we can purchase today?
We can purchase today. We can get ourselves a Kindle edition for 10 Canadian dollars.
Oh, hot damn. It's not Kindle Unlimited? I have Kindle Unlimited. Maybe, you know.
It doesn't say, no. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Because that's about how much I'm willing to pay.
72 pages. That's a pamphlet.
Then $10 does seem like very much of a...
Yeah. But also, I'm not... This one's not good. Is this... Hope this isn't our Kenny.
Follow the author. Oh, edited by S. Patrick Feeney. There you go. This S. Feeney guy is a... You know what? I'm not going to comment on his looks. He's
all right. No, we don't. Yeah, we don't. He's on radio where he's, you know.
No, this is the guy I'm looking at who's
the
credited author, even though he's just the editor on Amazon, is not this Kenny Young. It's some other guy.
Well, this says that this Kenny Young passed away on the screen here. So.
Oh no, poor Kenny.
So perhaps it was posthumously written.
Well, it looks like Huh.
Anyway.
There you go. Kenny Young.
Yeah, the late Kenny Young. Oh, that's too bad. Sorry, Kenny.
Sorry, Kenny.
cheers to
Yeah.
you, Kenny, for all
You
of
sound like a
your
nice guy.
for your skeptical digging into the. Oh, but now I found that this was what I was looking for was his website. Oh, it's not any longer a thing. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, well, he's dead.
Also, as I just live click on things on the live stream, this is why YouTube doesn't like us.
The 911 center. We've never
Oh,
heard
there's
of
lots of reasons YouTube doesn't like us, Paul.
Also, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Lewis's quote there.
Oh
my God, they killed.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
Killed
Yes.
Kenny. Yeah,
That is pretty good. Yeah.
yeah.
Kenny.
We were fascinated by this, and we looked into it, and yes, this really did happen. And they conducted, this gentleman, plus I think another gentleman, conducted a little inquiry, acting
in chat.
About who and the what now?
Lex. Do you remember Lex? Like the just weird as shit Canadian German. It was this sci-fi series that was just messed up. It's so weird.
It doesn't ring a bell.
LEXX Lex. It's hard to look away. It's
Okay, well, all right.
just it's just weird. Yep. And it gets weirder as the seasons go on.
Did you see the trailer for Black Mirror?
Mm-mm.
Black Mirror's coming back.
Season that's going to be 7?
Yep. Looks pretty good. Like me a Black Mirror.
I do, but I have found they're
hit and miss, just like Twilight Zone or whatever, right? It's going to be hit and miss.
I feel like it's the hits. You're getting less hits and more misses as the seasons go on. Or
I don't know. I like that Netflix episode from last season still has me.
Well, I mean that one, yeah.
I feel like the home runs are home runs.
The just invention was like that was crazy good.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I'm speaking out of the corner of my mouth. I retract my statement.
Well, I will say no. I could not like but so out of a season of like 6 or 7 episodes, I feel like they got two bangers, and that's all I need.
The first couple seasons were like 2 or 3 episodes a piece.
Yeah,
and it's like I feel that was so.
And those were every single one was a home run.
It was great, but yeah, and sometimes uncomfortable to watch, but still good. And you're like, ooh, hits a little too close to home. Yeah.
The actress who plays Falcone, Sophia Falcone?
Yeah.
In Penguin is in the new series. Is in the new season, and she was amazing in Penguin. So I'm excited to see what.
Yeah. She was. I mean, the Penguin was.
Yeah.
Is very, very good.
As private citizens at the department.
You're talking now about people at the department or at the 911 center. 911 center.
And they conducted a little inquiry, and they were able to retrieve something I was never able to get back in the 96 phase of the investigation.
What was that?
A date of the event.
What was the date of the event?
December 14th, 94.
December 14th of 1994. All right, Kenny, hold on. We'll get right back to you. Now, I think we're leading up to Kenny telling us that somebody in the 911 dispatch center sent him the tapes, but you never know. So we'll finish that up, and pretty soon we're going to get to playing these tapes for you, the entire, almost totally uncensored hour and some odd minutes. We'll be right back.
Will we listen to an uncensored hour and some odd minutes? Unlikely.
Unlikely. Also, the whole thing is only like an hour and 10 minutes, so
yeah. So we'll see.
So the art must have done some judicious
editing.
Splicing.
But how could he have edited these?
We're going to find out if Kenny is the one who provided NBC with the tapes that you're about to hear. Somehow Kenny got his hands on them.
I assume this is a Freedom of Information Act, but I guess maybe that wasn't the thing in '99 that you could just do.
Yeah, I guess that. Well, I think you could, but
because now if you, I think now you need a. I'm not American. I think you need a case. All you need is like a case number, and you can get like the body cam footage from like people and stuff. But
I have no knowledge.
About to find out if I was judging his story.
An authoritative answer. Yeah.
Just give me just be confident about it.
Yeah, you need to know the full names of at least 2 of the chief participants.
I don't think that's correct.
That is correct.
I don't think that's
Prove me wrong.
in Canada. You can't get nothing because we don't have
Can't
that.
get nothing because we don't got no freedom for
No.
information. Yeah. I want this. How about fuck you? That's your
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
But your friend Marty, he has a hunting blind near where it was, so he has footage.
He has footage. Yeah. All right.
It
I was
sounds
gonna
like
say,
someone.
this is the first time I ever tried this beer. It's from a brewery in Abbotsford, apparently, called Fieldhouse. This is one of the best beers I've ever had in my entire life. This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Big fan. Big fan.
And also our sister country over there, Mexico,
Uh-huh.
the other part of the North American sandwich.
Yep.
Yep.
We're the neglected cookie crusts and the Oreo. Nobody gives two shits about the chocolate cookie crust.
We're the top of the bun that people put sesame seeds on, and like, we don't really like sesame seeds. I know no one does, but yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
In the 911 center sent him the tapes, which is in itself, as Stan Friedman would say, in a gray basket to do such a thing. But he's got them, and you're going to hear them, because I'm going to let them be played.
Dum. Oh, nailed it.
We're an hour and 20 minutes in. Maybe we will finally now hear some of the 911 calls.
Here we go again, Kenny. You're back on the air, and we're warming up to how you got these tapes.
Okay. Well, like I was saying, the gentleman there that saw the report on the internet sent me a little letter in the mail saying they'd retrieved the date. And how they did this was quite interesting. They apparently, as a joke or something at the 911 center, or as a friendly thing that they do at center, they clip out little articles in the newspaper and make little false headlines. And they may have done this like every now and then, like if a story came up or something. They assemble them together and makes a funny little headline, and they maybe file it away somewhere.
You mean like a ransom note?
There you go.
Yeah, where you'd cut little words out of a paper and string them together, demanding ransom, right?
When they began to check around there, and they would ask their associates and coworkers, how about that UFO incident? When did that happen? Do you recall it? I guess one thing led to another, and finally they found the date by a silly little gag headline that someone had cut out and left around somewhere.
You sent me a copy of it. I've got.
I thought the press didn't cover your UFO thing. How can they have
the fake joke newspaper that apparently the 911 staff put out of calls?
They're doing crafts over there over at the 911.
I feel like that's towing a line. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh man, Jackson.
I'm sorry. I'd like
to
to dispatch someone for your heart attack, but I've glued my fingers together because I'm doing a craft.
Oh my god, I almost spit out all my beer.
Well, actually, what you've got there is something that I've received when they sent me the tape, and I thought that was real interesting, amusing little thing.
When they sent you the tape.
Exactly. I got an email that said, check your mailbox.
Right.
Something is on its way, and I kept my eyes on the mailbox for a day or two, and then, there it was. The tape came, and I listened to it, and I was thunderstruck by what I heard.
And this...
I was thunderstruck by what I heard.
Check your mailbox. That sounds so much like my just everyday phone call. Hey, did you get the email I sent you? And it's like the email from 3 minutes ago. Yeah. I got it. Well, I don't know. I haven't read it. You sent it 3 minutes ago, and I work, for a living. So,
also, yeah, I mean, bless my mom, and also like bless various places that send things to me. But it's always like, yeah. There's a package in your mailbox. I was like, yeah, that's where I expect packages to go. I gotta, if I'm gonna, if I'm waiting,
I need to talk to her. I'm gonna send a note to myself and forget.
Yeah, Mom, that's where the packages go. That's where
the packages go.
She
asked me for a favor, and I gotta remember.
They don't tell They let me have the package whether I'm anticipating it or not. They just,
well, I didn't know this was coming. Oh, well, you still gotta. It's for you. Yeah.
Question.
Trivia time, Paul. The film Fire in the Sky depicts a particularly horrifying depiction of the alleged alien abduction of this man.
I remember it.
Is it Travis Walton? Is it Mel Waters? Is it Jonathan Reed? Or is it Bugs Morgan? Longtime listeners of our show will
I
get the
feel
joke
like
that I'm telling here.
you've selected names that would be familiar on this show
Hmm.
from various different.
I mean, the one's a dead giveaway. I would be impressed if people could name all three and what they were involved with. Because yes, you're right. One is the correct answer, and three are.
I think those they're part of the lore of the Art Bell show. I'm guessing this is number one.
You are correct.
The
it is
correct
number
answer.
One. Travis Walton.
So Bugs was the one who shot the Bigfoot, right?
Bugs shot the Bigfoot. Yeah.
Mel, we all know Mel.
His last name. I made up his last name.
Oh, so yeah, and then Jonathan. I don't remember Jonathan Reed.
Jonathan Reed had an alien in his freezer.
Oh, alien in the freezer was Jonathan Reed.
Alien in the freezer is Jonathan Reed. Yeah, and Mel Waters. Obviously.
Well then, everyone. I think this is our most correctly answered question so far. Very good.
We're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Although a lot of people got the Orions.
A lot of people got the Orions. Yes, that is correct. But I think you're right. This is our most correctly answered question.
All right. Yeah. Well, good job, everybody.
Yay.
Have we missed any super chats? Are we good?
I don't think so. Nobody likes us enough to super chat anymore, Paul. Probably because of something you did.
Probably.
Weirdo.
Little joke headline that they put together.
You know what would be great? If you could drop your earbud in your drink again, because that really got us a lot of super chats.
No, because that actually ended up costing me a lot of money.
Cost you quite a bit of money.
What we don't want to do...
So here's a fun little fact. So my mom, who wears hearing aids,
yeah,
very nice, very expensive hearing aids, her last set of hearing aids she got have Bluetooth. So they are also, not only are the hearing aids, she can use them as earbuds. And so now, like, she has a nice set of Bluetooth earbuds that I got her as a gift one time, and she's like, "Well, they're not as good as these like multi-$1,000, hearing aids." It's like, no, I don't expect them to be.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, well, that's just a kind of a cool, and they're just like the little, like the invisible in-ear ones. But there you go.
The new AirPods from Apple.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, no joke, because I had the family members who've needed hearing aids and have worked in the hearing aid industry and in general. The new AirPods, they're pretty kick-ass as like a couple $100 hearing aids. Like they actually act as
they'll
that's just a built-in feature now that you can use that for it. It's like,
well, that's good.
Yeah,
because actually your hearing aids are kind of shockingly expensive. If you
they're thousands often,
this big and clamped on it.
Yeah, so if you're the kind of person who just maybe needs them for quality of life as opposed to actually, this is a way of, technology. It's kind of cool. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
People in 911 centers, I used to do it myself, at the right time. They've got a lot of time on their hands, and then, of course, it gets frantic. But you do have moments. And so they pasted this thing together out of headlines, which came with a tape that says, what, Kenny?
Well, the one I'd received, I don't think it was the same one they had there, because the one that they had a date that they were able to look at the date on the newspaper that they lifted out from. The one I have, and I think I sent it to Keith there. If he posted it, I don't know, on your site, because I didn't have any way to do that here, but it's a page.
Oh my God,
just say it. Record.
It's true. Because I think Kenny knows that the second they start playing the tape, no one cares about him anymore.
He's done. Yeah,
because these aren't his tapes.
Yeah.
Get ready for hot stuff. Be prepared for an alien Star Watch coming to our area as Trumbull County Police attempts high-speed chase of a...
And you have the 911 tape. So this is no doubt some little goodie they prepared for you. That's when they sent.
Paul. But we actually owe Kip and Vishanti an apology, because they were streaming earlier, and I think they unfortunately got a cease and desist.
They got
from
bumped.
YouTube.
I listened to a little bit of that stream.
I tried. Oh my God.
I mean, Chrissy Hansen.
They don't have a sponsor. They don't have a joke at the end.
No,
I don't like. What are you even doing, Kip?
And Chrissy Hansen, amazing scholar who will be on my channel soon.
Yes.
But boring. That was a boring stream.
It was just like, and You know,
All
Christy
it
was doing
was,
great work.
all they're trying to decide was, whether Yahweh was really a god or not. Like, who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean, like I was sort of watching it. I'm like, no
Who
one's shooting a
cares?
single Bigfoot here.
That's right.
What?
That's right. There's
It's-
no. Maybe if you had a 911 tape of Yahweh,
There's no 30-minute tangent about 90s sci-fi pop media.
right?
I don't like.
I mean, look,
I love you, Kip, like a
it's
brother.
a good
but
pre-show. It's a good pre-show.
It's not though, Paul. It's not.
Well,
It's a bad pre-show. It's bringing down our numbers. Anyways, we don't need to talk about this on camera. Well,
Exactly.
Exhibiting their usual habits of putting together cutesy little headlines.
enough, two of our good friends. Yeah.
So, are you certain, can you be certain, Kenny, that somebody in the 911 center would be the person who sent it to you?
Oh, yes. And in fact, the gentleman put his name on the email, and I did verify this. I called the 911 center, and I spoke.
all right. It's clippy.
All right.
At least I've learned how to quickly fix the problem. I got to tell you what, they don't have this problem over at the Kip show.
And I mean, it's part of our charm. This is why, yeah. I assume they have
Very
an unpaid
courteous,
intern
very nice, and
They have what? Who?
They have an unpaid intern, probably.
Yeah, they actually do. And also, they are not unnecessarily complicated like we are.
Mm-mm.
We are unnecessarily complicated, and that
we're
makes
still
things.
we're still doing the old keyword
Yep.
thing there, huh?
I meant to take that off. I forgot.
Well, fair enough.
So I'm just ignoring it.
thanks to them that we have
I
this
think we
information.
need like
and
an
I think
animated alien that occasionally like pokes its head around the corner.
So there's a few. I would be up for ideas. I'm up for but really, it'd be like an alien if certain situations in the chat come up or whatever it would have to be. Yeah.
Like like they do on the Twitch, right? Where like different little fun things happen when you.
Yeah, but this is unfortunately Twitch has the triggers for that. The YouTube is not so much. But.
What could you set up a script where it's like if people super chat particular amounts, like specific things happen?
That I can do, yeah.
Because that is something.
And in fact, right now I just treat all the super chats the same. We get the lovely facts.
We get the amazing fax machine.
But you
can
can absolutely
anybody in chat says I love the fax machine. You could all fax machine haters get out of here.
they saw the need to.
Wow, Kip. Okay. We don't need to get personal. We were just talking about how bad your work and show is. You don't need to go casting aspersions.
Nothing personal.
Yeah. We're just saying you're bad and the things you do are bad.
I don't know why I got to take that to heart.
Yeah. That's
My
constructive
God,
criticism.
God, honesty in an agency type in a police department? What a refreshing concept.
Well, yeah, the people that actually worked several weekends in a row to put this tape together, and we'll get into some of that, I think, as we can listen to the tape and how it was recorded. It did take a lot of effort.
Well, then my brothers and sisters at the 911 center there in Trumbull County deserve my thanks and your thanks and everybody's thanks for getting this out.
Exactly.
That was actually a rather heroic thing for them to do. 3 cheers for them.
And even still, Art, it was very courageous for the people that have participated in the confirmation piece to go on camera.
Yes, it was courageous to go on camera, but I've got to ask, where did NBC obtain their copy of the audio that was used? Was that from you, or did they go back to the 911 center?
Well, actually, I believe after I posted some of this information on the internet, a gentleman, CNI news editor, Michael Lindemann.
I know Michael, yes.
A great guy. He posted, I think, on the CNI News an article about this.
I see.
Next thing I know, I get an email from a gentleman, Starling Price. He's the producer of Confirmation. So
the fact of the matter is, NBC got it from you, right? How did you feel about giving it to NBC? Were you happy to do it, looking forward to how it might change people's minds or affect their thinking on the subject, or what was your thinking about?
Yeah, I was kind of excited that this case would receive maybe some attention. Of course, I didn't know of the confirmation program and, of what the other content of the show would be.
Of course. even if you're on the shows, Kenny, I can tell you that rarely do you understand what the content is going to be until you see the final product. When you saw it, give us your opinion on confirmation in general. I'd be very interested. What do you think?
Well, my hat's off to the producers for.
So Kenny is essentially a finder. Kenny has no insight. Kenny doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But Art is placating him here for too long.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Getting these courageous.
It's like, when occasionally happens in Alberta, right? Where it's like, oh, a farmer finds this dinosaur.
Yeah.
Which happens all the time. And then the news comes out and they talk to the farmer about what they think the dinosaur is, which is like, well, okay. No one cares what the farmer thinks the dinosaur is. Like, they don't actually know anything, but it's a fun story for 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
Police officers to go on camera. That was a feat right there. As far as the rest of the program, I've got my feelings about the abduction scenario. I'm not really too much into that.
I have some skepticism about that as well, but it's an event that has not occurred to me, so I can't really speak.
Right. But, it was kind of lumped in there, and well, so be it. I guess that's just the nature of the beast. We kind of have to deal with that.
Well, I interviewed the producer of that program on the night prior to its airing, and he told me on the air, Kenny, that he thought that the final segment, the Trumbull County segment, was the most important, the most impressive part of the entire program. I would have to say that runs kind of hand in hand with the implant business with Dr. Lear, but Trumbull County was awesome.
Well, I got a tremendous respect.
That's quite the double feature. We had UFO 911 calls and implants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, when someone talks to me about the implant business, I'm thinking of something very different. But
after the program aired,
So people contacted you by email or on your website or whatever?
Oh, sure. Yeah, and in fact, I guess I can, if I could, just let me give that out real quickly here.
Well, you can, but we do have a link. Everybody probably is up on my site, so you can just go down to Kenny's name and click on it, or Kenny, go right ahead.
UFO Research Cincinnati website.
UFO, that's in capitals?
UFO Research Cincinnati is the name of the website.
Right, but what I'm saying is when you go to enter it into your web browser, you have listed it here as UFO, capital letters, capital R, and then lowercase research.
Yeah. Well, actually, the URL address is home.fuse.net/UFO.
That's home.fuse.net/UFO.
Exactly.
I mean,
all right, that's what I really needed to know. Okay, so you'll get lots of traffic on your website, I'm sure.
So I was
your
doing the same
personal
thing.
reaction when the skeptic came on at the end and said, "'Twas a star."
Well, I want to see the science involved in drawing this conclusion. I have some concerns about possibly that the gentleman that made his comments, I want to know the break.
My browser's giving me a security warning on the fuse.net. I don't know about yours.
Mine just site can't be found.
Oh yeah. It's actually telling me that this is one of those I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's one of those domains where the SSL am I saying that right? The key doesn't match anymore with
the security certificate?
Yeah.
Down of his investigations. I want to see if he's taking the time to maybe contact some witnesses
now, Paul,
involved. It's one
important
thing
to remember. He's a skeptic.
He's a skeptic. It's straight. He assured us immediately.
He assured us he's a skeptic. He doesn't go in for this sort of thing typically. But he managed to
write a book about how
someone
sent him some tapes. One time, people sent me some tapes that I forwarded to NBC.
And the evidence is so overwhelming. The evidence, which when I show, will completely shock and amaze you. This is like one of those YouTube ads that's like 20 minutes long.
Right.
And they keep talking about, when I show you this secret, the amazing thing you're going to see. And then at the end, it's like, just go to this link. And you're like,
look, I just want the recipe for your chocolate banana cake. I don't care. Don't give me all this stuff.
Bananas were developed by one of those AI written
to go about quoting some investigator's handbook and talking about how the twinkling of stars can
Shannon's in
cause this
chat talking
common
about how glad she is Vishanti's gone. That just seems, I don't know what kind of drama's going
perception. But how much science was involved in his determination?
Yeah, they probably have a chapter in their little handbook about how to debunk even the most obvious and real cases of UFO or saucer sightings.
When we get into the details of this, we're going to see that the twinkling star scenario is viable here. Not in every case, but as things later progress, I can see where that explanation can be, straightened about or something.
That will be then as a result of your audio tapes, because it sure as hell wasn't the result of confirmation. Now, in confirmation, if you weren't laughing when you heard the fellow talk about the star as an explanation, then you weren't watching, you weren't listening.
Right. Well, here's the thing that I'm kind of concerned, and this is what interests me is the skeptic mentality, and I kind of have this myself, but at least I would like to see some honesty here. To apply this explanation, you would have to delete data that's involved in the case. You'd have to ignore key detail. You'd have to go in there and shape the case and conform it to your own explanation. And that's not what we want to do. We don't want to go, we want to be objective in our approach, and we want to look at this and use science behind our intent to apply an explanation. And if we can't do it, then doggone it, let's just call it the way it is and say, well, this is something unusual, this is unexplained right now. But, with his explanation of twinkling stars, I think there's a little bit to be desired there.
You're being very kind, but you are.
All right, so he.
I mean, golly gee, Paul, these twinkling stars.
But also, didn't he just say, when you listen to these tapes, you're going to find out that the twinkling star scenario was plausible? I thought that's what he said.
No, wasn't.
Oh,
plausible.
it's not plausible. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. All right.
So I've actually listened to these tapes, so I know what he's talking about.
Okay,
It's
all
like,
right. I
God,
don't.
man, just get to it. But Paul, we've got a super chat.
We got super chat. We got trivia clock.
Trivia time.
All right.
Oh,
So
goodness.
my unfinished journey. I'm not sure if they've super chatted before. Hail Nero,
remember.
Paul, and Dave.
Hail
and hail
Nero.
twinkling stars.
Hail to you, my unfinished journey.
I need a drink in my empty cup here. All right, but
Let's just
first,
wait.
we got to trivia it up.
We got to trivia it up. You can pour a drink while I'm reading a trivia question.
Yeah, that's my intent. But we should get these things going.
Paul, what is the name of the infested colony in Aliens where we first meet Newt? Is it Wayfar Station? Is it LV-426? Is it Heinlein? Or is it Hadley's Hope?
You, my friend, have done a good job, because those are, at least three of those are very aliens-y things.
I'm being tricksy. I'm being tricksy tonight.
I'm not 100%. I know one for sure.
This is one of your
not.
favorite movies, and I know you.
I know. I know one it's not. I think I know two it's not, but they're. But I'm hats off to you. Hats off to you. These are good deflection answers. I think it's number 4. I think it's Hadley's Hope.
It is Hadley's Hope. Interestingly, number 2,
LV-426. Yeah,
is the moon that the colony is on.
And Wayfar Station is in the lore.
Wayfar Station is Star Trek or Star Wars. I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. But
Maybe.
it's not
Okay.
this. Yeah.
All right, I gotcha. And then the Heinlein, I didn't know what that was. So everyone was
the
with
city
me.
on the moon in Netrunner.
Okay.
Yes,
LV-426 was a good deflection answer, because that's absolutely in the same movie.
Because they mention it in the movie. It is a thing that comes up there, LV-246. But the colony is Hadley's Hope. Yes.
Perfect. Well done. And well done, 60% of the audience. All right. I'm going to pause that. We're going to get...
Trivia is fun.
Trivia
Not
clock.
like this guy's. Oh, Farpoint. Yes, you're right. Wayfar Station is from something. I can't remember what. Now I got to Google.
I feel like it is Alien, but
It
you
might
wrote
be.
the questions.
I was just pulling stuff out of my Wayfar is it's a settlement on Tatooine. That's what it is. It is from Star Trek, but it's not.
All right.
Yeah. But yes, Farpoint is yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
At
times. I have my days.
Every day. All right.
Whatever.
Well, then why don't we begin, what the hell, give them a little teaser here before the top of the hour and begin. So you have gone out and you have purchased a unique little mechanism to allow this to be played on the air, and we hope it's going to sound okay.
It's a technical situation here on this end of the phone, but what I'll do is I'll play the...
No, Chad, it's Farpoint Station. I don't know what the Wayfair Station isn't anything on Star Trek. It's Farpoint Station. I don't know what people are angry at, but
yeah, I don't know why people are angry.
I guess from the beginning here, I'll just set the stage real briefly. A number of calls from people in the area have began calling the 911 center to report a UFO that's hovering low over homes.
Satterborn,
so
really, your mouth is writing checks your body can't cash. Be careful with that. That's gonna come back.
Andor season 2 this month.
Possibly the last season of Andor ever, because the director and showrunner is like, no, I'm done. I've told all the stories I need to tell. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because it actually connects up with it connects up with it's a prequel. So there's only
you know what happens to Cassie.
You know what happens, and literally the title character dies in the movie. Spoiler alert, whatever. But if you haven't watched Rogue One yet, then what are you doing watching
Kong
this?
dies at the end. Whoa, spoilers.
We'll just go ahead and pick it up as the tapes begin.
All right, here we go.
County Dispatch, may I help you?
Call.
Any reports, any objects in the air about 15 minutes ago?
Somebody called in, but I really don't know what that would be.
It was very strange.
Okay.
Looked like a back end of like one of them fighter planes, like the plane coming out the back.
Okay. Was it just like moving at a slow rate of speed?
It wasn't a slow rate, it was a fast rate, but it was coming down.
It was coming.
So I'm kind of making him out. Are you making him out? So he's these are
more
fighter
than
planes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying there were fighter planes and they were moving fast. Okay, gotcha.
Well, I think he said it was a light in the sky and it's coming down towards them. Yeah,
it's a little hard to hear, but okay.
And she said, which to be expected, honestly, from phone audio from the 90s.
Yeah,
that this is not the first caller tonight to reference that.
Not the first caller, right? Yeah.
Anyways.
Down?
Yeah.
Like straight down or at an angle?
Like an angle.
I disagree, Shannon.
At an angle? Okay.
It wasn't real big in the back.
Okay.
Plane.
All right. I'll tell you what, we'll check with the air base in Vienna and see if they have any report of anything in the area.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. 996. 996. A report by CC, actually 2 calls in of going to the sky, unknown object above Sampson Drive. Have you noticed anything?
Really?
That's affirmative, sir.
What's the location?
The area of Sampson Drive.
North or south?
Sir, he just advised in the air, in the sky. He didn't advise direction. 998, head.
I mean, I will say this absolutely lends to this is just real tapes. These aren't.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So there's an hour of this. Okay, all right.
Apparently, maybe something good is coming up.
Well, the whole thing is much less than an hour, and there is callers at the end, so
we'll see. We might
see.
just
We've been waiting for these calls, and actually, it's not uninteresting. It's not uninteresting.
It's just hard to make out.
Yeah, it's just tough.
On the object.
Public service, sir. I'll give you further.
Okay.
County Dispatch.
Okay.
Bob, I swear to God, 4 calls in on an unidentified object over Liberty.
4 calls.
4 calls on an unidentified flying object.
Run down, take a look. All right, we'll check it out.
You want me to call the air base and see if there's anything in the area?
I'll take a look.
I swear to God. You want to hear the call?
Come out here and toast you.
You want to hear the call? Wait a minute. I'll let you hear the call so you think I'm lying.
I believe you.
No, I swear to God. Listen.
I'm confused. Did the police? How is this a 911 call? This seems to be
So I feel
chatter.
like this is the 911 operator calling somebody, like a sheriff.
Oh, I see.
This
Okay,
is an outgoing 911 call. Yeah.
gotcha.
That
Okay,
the 911 dispatcher is calling somebody local to talk about this.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That
It's
makes
it's
sense.
weird because we're not getting any frame rate. Like, it's just the call, right? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen to this one.
What's that?
No, go ahead. The unidentified flying object is fucking
Here. Here.
It's in the air about 15 minutes ago.
Somebody called in, but I really don't know what that would be.
It's very strange.
Okay.
Well, the fact of like one of those spider slaves. Call the air base and see if I get.
I'm stroking the hell out of this guy with it moving at a slower speed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ultimately, what this would at best confirm, we'll see. At best, this confirms that lots of people called in.
Yeah. Yeah. Multiple people have called in.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're gonna call the air cam or the air base, see what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Directly down.
Multiple. I have to say, Andor is not the only good Star Trek show on
Star Wars show.
Disney Plus. Star Wars show on Disney Plus.
No, Mandalorian season 1 and 2 were pretty good.
And I thought the was it the Skeleton Crew, the kid pirate
Skeleton
one?
Crew, for what it was, for what it was.
I'm not like for what they did. Like, I thought it was good. I mean, it's aimed at 8 and 10-year-olds, right? Like, with that in mind, I'm like, well, this is pretty good. I think it did what it set out to do, and
There was
did it
nothing.
well.
There was nothing about that one that made me cringe.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
and I actually, even though they could have cut out half the episodes, if they had cut out half the episodes of Obi-Wan and just made it like an actual movie, I think it would have been fantastic. Like, there was a couple scenes in that,
right.
that were like, this is
Yeah,
really
no, actually,
good. Specifically, the confrontations with Vader.
Yeah, and there's the fan edit.
Yeah.
There's the fan edit
Yeah.
of it that down to like a 90-minute thing. That's pretty good.
But yeah, there's a lot of real bad.
Yeah, a lot of real bad stuff.
Yeah.
The Acolyte, no good. The whole Ahsoka, I didn't enjoy Ahsoka.
And you know better than anyone in this chat. Like, Paula, I fucking love Thrawn.
Yes,
Thrawn is without a doubt my favorite Star Wars character, and just they did him dirty. Like, it's so bad. And I get it. It's hard to write like a super genius because you have to act, but just like, oh, send out the squad. Well, the squad got massacred. It's like, oh, part of my plan. Why was that part of your plan? Like, you can't just say every time something happens, like, this is part of my plan. It's like, then why did you send them out? What is the point of this? Whatever. Yeah,
I agree. No. And they keep talking. I keep hearing little scuttlebutts about season 2 of Ahsoka. I'm like, I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
But they recast the Mountain from
he was like my favorite part of that show. Like, the one thing that I was actually legitimately interested in, and then it's like, and then unfortunately
the actor passed
away. You're like, oh well, I guess that's the end of that storyline. Anyway,
and I don't think the actor who plays the Mountain, Lord love him, but I don't think he's going to be able to deliver that same energy. So
no, I guess it depends which Mountain, because there's 3 in guys.
Well, it's the one that ended the show. Right?
It's the one that
the one that was with Arya, the one that the one that most people know as the
Freaking panic. You guys got freaking UFOs over there?
Yeah, ask them if they got any Fox in town.
Huh?
Ask them if Spock is in town.
If Doc is in town?
Spock.
Spock? Oh, you mean like Generations Star Trek thing? Smart ass. I'll tell them they're forming a secret.
Okay, the 911 operator doesn't pass the nerd test. Oh, Spock. So the next generation Star Trek thing? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah.
Nope. But okay.
Filming the sequel right here in Liberty. Okay. You let me know. Well, shit, if you get abducted, who am I going to call?
Toby up and
He'll bring Toby up. They just bring his ass so fast.
Sorry, Tim, that's Ewok's Battle for Endor. I'll have you know, not Planet of Endor. Battle for Endor.
Somehow, I got on a straight Paul within the last 2 weeks. Since last time we did a show. So every episode of Droids, remember the cartoon Droids?
Very well.
Is on YouTube. They're all on YouTube, complete.
Oh, interesting.
Start to finish, and just nobody's bothered copywriting, striking this because I guess nobody. I don't know who owns the rights to Droids. Whoever it is, they don't care.
Well, I'm pretty sure they actually. Okay, carry on. I thought they were on Disney
Anyways,
Plus, but go
but
ahead.
I was like, so I wanted. I'm just like, nah, I still like this.
Yes.
Yeah, this was my favorite Star Wars cartoon when I was a kid. I always just loved Droids somehow. And I forgot that they had actual Anthony Daniels. Yeah.
Trivia about Ewok's Planet for Endor. When I worked at Lucasfilm, I was the one that returned that series back into canon. That George had kicked it out of canon.
Yeah, for good reason.
But I dragged it back into canon by putting Noah, the guy who was stuck on the planet, Noah. I put him, the launch of his ship, back into canon materials. Like his ship got lost, right? And that's how we ended up on Endor. I put his mission back into a canon source, and also put the species that was Teak. Remember that stupid rat, the weird thing that could run around super fast?
Yeah.
I also put that species back into canon, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yes, Shannon, he means the Hound.
Oh, I do mean the Hound.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't going to say anything, but it was,
I absolutely mean the Hound. You're right. The mountain, because yes, the mountain never said anything.
He did a little bit, and that's why I was like, there's like
some grunting and grunting. No, you're right. It's the actor who plays the Hound with Arya.
Who was much better. He was never.
But still not the same vibe for that particular Sith Lord. That
was my favorite part of the Game of Thrones TV show. Yeah, I really.
That's freaking I swear to God, this is our 4th or 5th call on it.
all right.
Tim, the second one was called Battle for Endor. The first one was called
Caravan of something.
Caravan of Courage. That's right. Caravan of Courage. Well done.
Yeah.
Because it was the first one was the family. It's all about the family, and they rescue each other.
The parents die in
the brother and sister. Well, the parents don't die.
That's right. They're just wounded or whatever. So the kids have to go out and get.
And then in the second one, it's almost like Alien 3, where like they just kill everybody from. Oh, everyone who survived last movie, we killed them off screen. Same thing happened in the stupid the Ewok movie too. Oh, the parents that lived, and then no, we killed them between scenes. You just you don't know.
Him, he died
because we needed Mace the brother to to have an arc here.
Good.
I'll be in the area in about just 30 seconds here. Is there one particular block it's going over, or what area of the Sampson Road drive?
Okay. To our knowledge, we've had 4 different calls, and this particular one came over Sampson.
Okay, different areas on Sampson itself.
Yes, they just said in the sky. That's all we have, in the sky.
Okay. Well, not the area.
On the area, checking for an object in the sky. Copy at 30 after.
She sounds super impressed with her life right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
All
Paul,
right, Dave.
You know what time it is?
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. YouTube strike. All right.
It's with your accurate singing. I know that's what's going to get us.
We're running out of alien. We're running out of questions.
Oh, this is number 6 coming up here.
Yeah. So we got what
3 more.
One guess, Paul. What do you think? All right. Well, we missed it. In the convoluted lore of the X-Files.
X-Files.
Why did aliens abandon their first attempt to colonize Earth? Were they driven off by the last ice age? Was it the Great Flood as described in Genesis chapter 6 to 9? Was it an asteroid colliding with the Yucatan Peninsula? Or was it a war with a rival alien faction? What caused them to leave,
So-
leave the black oil behind?
Convoluted is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Some fans, a polite way of saying fucked up and contradictory.
Yeah, and yeah. So there's only one of these I think it can be. Based on, I remember, so they had the weird season. So it's I think it's the Ice Age, because they were going to get
It was
ice
the Ice
cores.
Age.
They were going to
Yeah.
get ice cores for whatever
Extreme
reason.
cold was their
Yeah.
the weakness of the aliens.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
But that was sort of told in the season where Robert Patrick took over the show, right? Where like
Yeah.
Dave Duchovny wasn't on
No,
anymore.
no, it also got into, and in the movie, a lot of it came.
And in the movie.
back to the movie out, yes.
But wasn't around the movie when they just when all of a sudden.
coming across the UFO like on a glacier in like the middle of the Ice Age, 35. Whatever.
But didn't that happen like right after the movie that they replaced the characters
Yes.
on the show?
Yeah,
for a while.
That's where like
Kind of Dukes of Hazzard
Duchovny
style,
was
where
like,
they
I'm
these are
kind of
different
this,
Duke boys
yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Now I'm aging myself.
It was
No
the
one knows
cousin.
what I'm talking about.
It was the Duke cousins. Yeah.
It was the Duke cousins. Yeah, it was just different cousins. A blonde one and a brunette one. And they look the same, but we're just
They're pretty much doing the same thing. Still
yeah.
fighting.
Never mind.
Cousins. Yeah.
Boss Hog's still upset.
Yeah.
Still Uncle Jesse. Everything's good.
Yeah. Roscoe P. Coltrane's still there. Yeah. Don't you worry.
Although they eventually replaced him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone wanted too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's art.
Nick Files movie was, I feel like, the high watermark of X-Files.
I think so too. The movie's good.
Like
that was the height of
that was everything after the movie was like, this is not good, or not.
and in
consistent.
particular the season that they added on, 30 years later, 20 years, whatever the season 7 or whatever it was that they
that was a disaster.
Yarp.
Yeah. Hey Paul, we have a super chat.
We sure do.
Hey,
Melly.
Yeah.
$5 super chat. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just arrived.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the bloodworm moon last night. Disappointing lack of worms, but I suppose they could have been hiding in one of the craters.
Yeah, we're around in the back.
Or
feeding, fish in fish tanks.
Yeah. Like worm,
I
like
used to have
proper
to feed,
worms, or
I had
like
fish that had to feed bloodworms too.
Oh, this isn't like Shai Hulud worm. This isn't Dune.
No, they're a
style.
real thing.
Okay.
And apparently, a fairly sizable percentage of the population is very allergic to bloodworms, which I did not.
Interesting.
Like, if you 10 fish and have bloodworms, like you have to kind of be careful, maybe go, because like there are like a significant double-digit percent of the population where it's like, yeah, you might like stop breathing if you touch these.
Okay.
So be careful. Yeah. Bella's having a good time over there.
I missed that. I thought she was just digging. Okay, well.
Yeah, no.
YouTube's going to cancel us.
She's just establishing dominance over the pillow. Good girl, you're the boss. Good job. We're all very impressed.
She was really getting carried away with herself there, wasn't she?
Oh, sure, but that's part of the enjoyment of hearing the.
Oh, it really is. There are some difficult to hear areas. What's happening, of course, is the audio has been recorded several times and is compressed anyway. So you've got to listen carefully, folks. But I got a lot out of that, Kenny.
Okay. In this part, we're getting the picture that the 911 center is being alerted to a situation that's being called in by citizens in the area.
Right.
Now, twinkling stars, some people could maybe mistake them for UFOs. This is, it's kind of a stretch to think that you're.
I've been listening very carefully. Nobody's mentioned twinkling stars.
There must be more calls coming, because those are just
Stargates all over again.
That's right. This is Stargates.
Paul, I will not abide this. I will not let this stand.
Well, it's early for you. We got a long way to go.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good to go for like 3 hours yet.
Yeah,
we'll get to the bottom.
Going to get a lot of people in the area. Going to go out and see twinkling.
There's one little problem here, Kenny. If it was a twinkling of stars, then Police departments all over the United States with clear skies should have been inundated with similar twinkling star calls.
Well, yeah. The inference, I guess, the theory.
That's not actually a terrible point.
No, see, the thing was, Paul, the Savior was being born in Trumbull County. So the stars.
Right, we're pointing directly.
Yeah, we're twinkling there.
Gotcha.
Goes that there's a refraction of the atmosphere. The light is being refracted through the atmosphere a certain way to cause certain colors. In fact, there's a case here from this area. I was actually in Claremont County traveling with a researcher, Charles Stewart.
All right, listen, you can pick up on that story as we get back, but I'm sorry.
If we get back, that's
in a certain
ominous.
way with the atmosphere just above Trumbull County, no. I don't think so. I don't think so, but you're going to hear it all tonight. I'm Art Bell.
This is Coast to Coast AM from the Kingdom of Nye with Art Bell.
Bum, bum.
And back again to
I
Kenny
heard that
Young
too,
in
Axel.
Cincinnati. Kenny,
What have you heard?
Axel said that he saw a trivia about that Venus is or was the most common celestial body mistaken for UFOs, and I've heard that too.
Okay.
Because it's so bright and move, like you can note it. You can actually see Venus moving in the sky.
Gotcha.
Generally speaking, relative, right? Like it, yeah.
back on the air again.
Thanks a lot, Art.
Okay, so where do you want to pick this up now? You were commenting on their attitude at the beginning of this with the calls.
Right. Before the break, I was just going to make brief mention. I was traveling through Claremont County, Ohio, about maybe 3 years ago with a fellow researcher, Charles Stewart. And we were looking into a UFO sighting in that area, and while driving at night, we saw a star, but when we first saw it, of course, we were kind of misled by this, and we stopped the car and we looked at it. So I'm saying this just to illustrate that the stars can be misidentified. I'm guilty of that. I had that happen to me once. Here's the catch, though. It took us 30 seconds before we realized it was a star.
Well, what you're actually seeing is an optical conclusion. In other words, as you fixate your stare at the star, Venus is a great example.
Right.
It appears to be going up or down or sideways. However, I too know what that is, and it doesn't take a great intellect to discern that you are coming to an optical conclusion and you are seeing a star. Now,
so we drew a conclusion within about 30 seconds. Now, contrast that with this case in which you have many people,
yes,
police officers, astute citizens.
Are we to assume, with the earlier explanation, Kenny, that the refracting atmosphere was hovering only over Trumbull County?
Well, let's look at that real close, though. Some of the citizen advisements that came in, a gentleman that called first that we heard, he said it looked like the back end of a fighter jet, flames coming out of it. We're going to get into some more calls.
Yes.
If you're doing a documentary or some kind of thing, you maybe give a synopsis. Hey, here's an optical conclusion. Here's the things that people saw and the timeline of when what was reported. Then we play this because it's hard to hear and go, but it's like you can pick this out. You already know kind of the details.
That's right.
But here's the actual audio backing this up. But we're gonna give you nice people at home, the quick synopsis of why we think this is legit, because 5 different people, one of which was, county sheriff or police officer, all reported something very similar from completely disparate things, blah, 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 move. This is, so what I'm trying to say is whoever did production on this documentary did a shit job.
That's right.
Terrible. Yeah.
Well, the one benefit they have now, maybe they could have had it on their fancy webcam that they had going on your Y2 player or W2 player, G2 player.
Yeah.
Was that, like, now we would expect a modern documentary would actually have the subtitles too, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
even though that's leading, you very much, when you see the subtitle of something like, the garbled audio, it doesn't seem so garbled when you can,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is radio.
That will discuss even stranger details. Let's pick it up here at this part where the reporter from the station there in Youngstown, Ohio, channel 33, catches wind of this, and this is one of the oddities about the story is that this never came out.
Go, Kenny.
County Dispatch, can I help you?
Hi, dear. This is Stacy from 30. I hear Liberty Police are in an area that I got a call about a little bit ago. A woman called, claimed she saw something in the sky.
Yeah, you called me a little while ago.
Okay. I hear they're out there and they've got another call.
Yeah, we finally got one on it somewhere.
What the woman told me was on Sampson Drive, like
That
midway
voice sounded
in
like
the
Art
block.
Bell. It's hilarious to me.
What's
Did it
that?
not to you? The one voice she's talking to, he sounded like Art Bell.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a vacant lot or something. A fee.
Hold on, I'll let you talk to the Liberty Dispatcher.
Yeah.
County Dispatch, may I help you?
Hi, dear. This is Stacy from 33.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
I got one of your.
Did you really?
There's like Sampson Drive. There's a vacant field midway through the block.
They're telling me this too, but I mean, it's probably some weather balloon or something. You know what I mean? They're checking the area, but these UFO calls are getting out of hand.
I don't know what it is.
If it was, what the hell did they come to Liberty for? There's no intelligent life in Liberty. Come on. We're telling everybody they're doing a sequel to this, what's that new Star Trek movie, Generation?
I'm fine with all this except this dispatcher's knowledge of Star Trek. Generations wasn't a movie by then. Oh wait, Generations might have been a movie.
Might have
by then.
been in 1999. When did Generations come out?
So actually, no, maybe I owe this dispatcher an apology because I assumed she was talking about Next Generation.
Generations was
But there was that
1994. So yeah,
there was that terrible William Shatner slash. Yeah, the one where Kirk died.
yeah, and his heaven is chopped. No, he didn't die. He was pulled into the cosmic thread.
Well, but yeah, and that's actually one I didn't like that one because they also felt like they ruined Guinan in that one. Guinan was suddenly like some kind of weird.
Oh, I mean,
drug
there was
addict.
a lot of things.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems with it, but
yeah. Does it? I don't know. I don't see it, Michael. Like, it's Ming the Merciless. You're right. That is what that poster is. So Michael's asking. It looks like Ming the Merciless exposing his breasts. What, do you see it, Paul? To me, like, I mean, there's a glare because of the lights I use for this show, unfortunately, so you can't really see the poster in it.
no, I don't see it. Maybe in the small, maybe in the, but
I think that's saying more about Michael than it says
That's
about
right.
anything else. Yeah.
that's just wish fulfillment.
Yeah. And I personally, I really enjoyed your Flash Gordon fanfic /fic. Like, but I mean, it's not in that poster, man. I just gotta,
Yeah.
Flash. Oh, he saves every one of us. Do, 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 do.
I don't understand how Queen picked gigs.
I don't know how they got. They're like, yeah, this is the thing we want to do.
Yeah. And so they turned down like massive like concerts and stuff. Hey, we have a low budget film made in Highlander. Do you want to do the whole thing? Yes.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. What, with fucking swords and shit? This is awesome. Yeah.
Meanwhile, like I know that like Elton John was trying to get him to collab. No. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but Paul, if you were offered the chance to be involved with the greatest movie of all time,
I mean, in retrospect, they were
great.
geniuses, obviously. But
Yeah.
also, like, screw Sting. I have a song about riding a bicycle that I need to write and get laid down. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen is a Queen is a mystery to me. That's
No, that's
I
just.
mean,
I think like, to be fair, they're they were doing all right. It wasn't like they were hurting for money.
well,
So I
this
guess-
is the problem.
Yeah,
Like in retrospect, you're looking back, is like, did they make mistakes? No, not one. Like, it's,
Yeah.
but like the thinking at the time,
No noise. No noise. It was low flying and took off. Oh, come on. Fifth Avenue. Are you serious? It's driving up Fifth Avenue Extension. Now, not Christ. Not driving. You're flying. It came down and just zooped over it with a big glowing object. Wow, we got 4 calls on it. The last guy said it was a fighter plane. So you tell me that I would do like a big news story on the water and Liberty and the effects on the people, because these people are clearly afflicted. But I appreciate the tip. I'll let them know some more on it. I dispatched it because God only knows my luck. It would land here, abduct some people, and I would be in trouble for my dispatching. I was impressed because I heard the way you dispatched it, and I said she's trying real hard not to break. And I'm working with the biggest jokers on the force tonight, so it's real hard not to. Lucky camper. Well, if we do run into a UFO, I swear I will call you personally. Okay? We'll give you an exclusive.
See, it's like, I wish it was like, and this, this is a call with who, like, instead of just like jumping from call to call, it's like, who is she talking to? Who's this person? Is it?
Yeah, this needs some more
like some
context.
Staff at the airbase? Is it? Yeah.
Also, like it's a little less exciting. Like the UFOs aren't presently in the sky anymore.
Yeah.
So now we're chasing, whatever this guy's.
Memories.
Although, I mean, I will say this absolutely is evidence that something happened that night that made. Yeah. I feel like this.
Occam's razor. The odds.
Occam's razor. Yeah. I feel like
because the thing is, who saw it and didn't call 911.
Right.
I'm sure there's like a statistically significant percentage of people that were like, there's probably, and I'm sure there's stats on it, like if something does happen, how many people who see it will call 911, right? It's the old thing, like if somebody writes like an angry letter to, Post Serial.
Sure. That
takes the time to like actually physically write a letter and go. And they're like, well, shit, if somebody saw this, it's like probably there's 1,000 people who feel the same way who didn't take the same. Who
didn't, right. Yeah, exactly.
Actually write a letter, like companies have sort of stats on that sort of thing, right? So you're probably right. Like it's enough of us on like probably something. There was some light, something in the sky that people saw, and that probably wasn't just the normal astronomical, because it was out of the ordinary enough that people called 911 to be like, hey, what's up with this?
Well, so far we've only heard, if I remember correctly, we've only heard one actual citizen talking. The last 2 calls have been internal chatter.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that we hear at least one more citizen or more,
or somebody call. Yeah.
Because
at some point, because there's like a call with the police officer who talks about, I saw like a twinkling light of a star, but it had like effects and like shut down the engine of his car and stuff, which is why Art and this guy were talking. They're like, it wasn't twinkling starlight, because this person talks about, it's like this light came and it's like, and the engine stopped, like the electronics on my car turned off.
Right.
Which is why they're like, well, that's not like twinkly starlight. That's something.
Well,
something
but that's also assuming causation. Of course, right?
But that is the gist of their call. Yes. Yeah.
Scotty Orange wants to know, before we head back into the trivia, Scotty Orange wants to know St. Patrick's Day, for or against?
It's not a big deal where I live, because this is not a very Irish influence. Like the bars and stuff, there'll be like a St. Patrick's Day kind of, and there'll be like some sort of Irish themed drinks, but it's not I feel like it's a much bigger deal where probably you live. Or
yes, it is a huge deal where we are, where I am out here. I am for, because it's fun party. There's probably all kinds of, like, if one really thinks about it, I'm sure there's lots of problematic parts about it, even like from an Irish heritage perspective. And
there's a hilarious clip from who is it? The Sam Reich. I can't remember. Not College Humor. Dropout TV. Is that what it's called now? It's one of their game shows. Makes Noise or something. Where it's Brendan Lee Mulligan. It's comedians, so doing improv, and the cue is like the ghost of St. Patrick's Day past. And so he's like doing this thing in his Irish thing. He's like,
no,
your knees are screwed. He's like, see? He's like, 'tis the good Saint Patrick driving the snakes from Ireland. He's murdering heathens, Ebenezer. And he'll be murdering you if you don't make yourself right with the Lord. Just driving the snakes.
So I like a good party, so 4, but
I highly recommend everybody go. It's on YouTube. It's free. Look up Brendan
all right,
Mulligan's
sounds good.
Ghost of St. Patrick's Pass. It's very funny. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's quite all right. We have we're back to trivia here.
Back to trivia. Paul, what do you think the next one's going to be?
Before I hit resume, so what have we not had? We've not had so you had an alien, you had a well, maybe Dave, there's an elf. Maybe you've got an elf in here for me.
Could be.
We got now I got 8 seconds of awkwardness.
That's why I was like, you didn't have to pause it. We could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. It's not elf.
Oh shoot!
I got an elf trivia question for you though. I'll ask you after. Hey Paul, the cult classic, The Fifth Element, features several alien races, including the mercenary Mangalore, and these benevolent caretakers of Lilo and the Stones. Is it the Vorlons, the Plava Laguna, the Mondoshaewans, or the Floston?
You like this movie a lot more than I do. You'd love this movie.
I love this movie.
I can't stand Chris Tucker in this film, so it's kind of this weird.
He's supposed to be annoying, so
I know. But Bruce is good. This was Bruce when he still kind of cared. Jojovich was good. Yeah.
Gary Oldman.
As Zorg. I think it was Mando Shanawans, the number 3, but I could be. I'm on.
Yeah.
Only because you and the circle we were in at the time kept wanting to watch this movie over and over.
Friend Trevor, he and I both have like a deep love for this movie. Yes, the
anyway. Multipass.
Well, Kip them's fighting words because
multipass.
Yeah, the scene where Bruce Willis gets clocked on the head by his trophy and just like does fall. It lives in my head rent free forever. It's one of the greatest films.
Also, just as a song, I do love the opera part. The opera is great.
Oh yeah, I mean, like there's so many amazing scenes in that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, just in isolation, like I could just listen to that song and just like didn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, back to 911. Alien 911, UFO 911, Trumbull County.
Trumbull County.
Okay. Bye-bye.
County Dispatch.
Liberty Police. Am I calling the Liberty Police?
What you need, ma'am?
I wonder, did you had anyone call you about a strange plane or airplane or something in the air?
Yeah, they're checking it out.
Yeah, I just saw it on Sampson Road.
Where?
On Sampson Drive.
Okay.
I was coming down Sampson Drive. It was almost, it looked like it was, I don't know what it was. If it was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane. It was down off the road.
Are you the same lady that called Channel 33?
No.
Okay. All right.
You must have had other calls in on it, huh?
Yeah, not many, a couple.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
What did it look like, ma'am?
It was like almost like an iridescent color. It was like a bluish purple. It was like a long streak. Like it almost was like it had fire coming out of the back of it.
Okay.
Maybe it was. I don't know what it could have been. I know it wasn't an airplane.
Okay, ma'am. I'll let them know.
All right.
Bye.
Also, it's an interesting instinct. Like, if I saw something like that, if I saw what I perceived to be a purple streak in the sky with like something like that, right? Like that is a thing I could see. I could imagine. Did I see this? Did I not perceive it? Would I call 911?
I mean, probably not. No.
Yeah, like
you and
what
I
would
wouldn't. Yeah.
like what would you imagine that 911 would do about this? I weirdly like I've voting channel 31 is probably higher on my like list of maybe I might do.
I mean, so like legitimately I wouldn't do it, but like I can see if you do like see something, you're like, I can't do anything about it. Like if I was like, I think I saw a plane crash like on the horizon or right, it'd be like I'll just like, because it's the old thing, like if one person calls 911, whatever, if 20 people call 911, then 911's like, oh shit, okay,
they
well,
take
like,
it serious.
We should probably let like the military or somebody know about this, because clearly something's happening, whatever it is.
But I guess that was So I think you're right. I think if I felt like something had crashed, I would definitely feel like I should call
or
that
whatever.
in.
If there was like a legitimate, or I saw, so I don't know if you ever have. I remember when I was a child in southern Alberta, I one time saw, south of Calgary. So this was a thing. There was like a pumping station for a large natural gas pipeline.
Okay.
That I don't remember the details, but it exploded.
Okay.
And then there was like basically a column in fire. It was like a 20-inch natural gas pipeline that was just, and you could, from like 100 kilometers away, you could see this column of fire.
Yeah.
And
what color was it burning?
It was orange. It was just fire. It was just
orange,
okay. Right.
Because sometimes natural gas is different, but okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. It was like sort of reddish orange. Like it looked like fire.
Yep.
Right. And I didn't, but I could see people, like enough people being like, holy fucking fuck. Like there's something just happened south of the city. Like everybody saw this, and it was, I'm sure many people.
Well, yeah, well, that's it. So for me, that's in the realm of, that's something maybe the cops should be notified about.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just thinking about like a streak in the sky that like lasted a couple seconds and was purple.
Yeah.
And I'm like okay, that was weird.
But
do the cops need to know about this?
if you had like a legitimate sort of like movie experience where it's like, okay, like 3 rotating lights came, paused, hovered over your head for a bit, and took off. See, now we live in a time where drones are a thing and stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, so I might call and be like, hey, some asshole.
Actually, that's right.
Some jackass is flying around.
They're trying to record me against my will. Yeah.
In the 90s, I might have been like, I don't know what this is. Something is going on. Like, I just saw.
I guess I'm just curious what the callers think the cops are going to do.
Yeah, it is the old like Parks and Rec type.
Oh,
I stubbed my toe in a park. Okay. Well, Paul.
Should be hovering about 50 feet off the ground, heading towards that area. Supposed to be a large object with a lot of lights on it.
So I have another report at Sampson Drive, and also we've been advised.
Just gonna fix the clickies. Are you listening to our show on a different channel?
One of my friends, Shanice, shout out, his Snapchat has like put a crazy filter on our chat so that you look like a weird fish person and I look like a thing, and they're sending me
I see
clips of the show 10 seconds after we watch. I think it's hilarious, and it is actually pretty funny.
Send her copyrights.
Yeah, you are now a theater.
Drive, and also we've been advised by callers to the media informed us.
Theater us. Yeah, that's it. Well, I don't think they're monetizing this, so it's kind of hard to.
No, cease and desist, and
yeah, our lawyer. We're gonna get Darcy to.
Darcy's gonna
yeah.
As soon as we're done.
Yeah,
that's right. So I bitch about how sometimes the Art Bell folks, not the Art Bell, the Coast to Coast folks aren't cooperating. Thing nice. The way you want to do that, you want to be a bully down the line. That's what you want to send that karma down.
Yeah.
This is like that parable in the Bible where where the one guy owes a tiny bit of money and he beats the people up, and then he's like, oh no, but don't I owe a lot of money, but I'm fine.
I mean, that's the old saying, right? Like, if you owe the bank $10,000, the bank owns you. If you owe the bank $150 million, well, all of a sudden you get to call a lot of the tune when it comes to, which is also sad and true.
You
can whistle a very different tune. If you owe the bank $1 billion, they're just happy to get any part of that back.
It was a blue-green object hovering, no noise. It was in the area of Fifth Avenue Extension.
I'll go that Fifth Avenue Extension just came in.
This is just in now.
98.
And then it got...
I see some lights. It's over 1 block from me. I'm going to try to get over there. I got to go down the street here. A large object, whatever it is.
996, are you in the area? 925, do you want to head over to that area? Repeat your traffic.
It sounds like now
this doesn't
trying to get like actual sort of police vehicles or somebody like, hey, go to this, check out what's going on in this area. It seems like, right?
Yeah, and then this sounds more like a scanner recording than a 911 call.
Well, this is probably radio. This is probably not calls. So this is now, yes, we're probably getting like police.
But yeah, it sounds like someone recorded their police scanner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you see that, Phil? I just got a glimpse of it. I could see... I'm on Samson right now. I can see it heading by Fifth Avenue on the other side. I can see some lights up in that area. All right. 925 998. Should I set my phaser for stun? Yeah, go ahead and do that.
96, can you repeat your traffic?
Area Fifth Avenue Extension.
The area Fifth Avenue Extension. 996, you advise that you don't see anything?
It was like a red pulsating light.
Yeah, this is what I thought. 99 was the same year as the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Like, why? Yeah.
Because this sounds like found footage radio, right? Where it's like
essentially what it is. Yeah.
This would be so easily staged if one wanted to, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting question for you, Paul. Possibly. Maybe I'm the only one that finds this interesting. Maybe you will find this banal and beneath your intellectual prowess. Like what would actually be if a real UFO showed up in whatever, Trumbull County.
Yep.
Wherever. What would be the evidence? What would be the burden of proof? The thing that you'd be like, oh shit, I actually think there might be something legitimately to this.
So at this point, like with everyone having cell phones.
And yeah, so but
so am I in 99 now?
We're in 99. You're in the 1990s. Yeah.
So I guess at that point, what I want to see is something that in the morning.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people still owned cameras, so in theory, there could be a photo of this.
Sure, but presumably, what you're getting is lights, right? Like you're getting blurry lights or whatever. I mean, for me in 99, it would need to be something like it affected the ground in some way, right? Like that.
Right.
That.
And I'm not talking about. This is like incontrovertible evidence where
no,
like 100%
no, not even incontrovertible, but like suddenly there was, and like this sounds like this county is not like big city, whatever. It sounds like it's not a lot happens. So theoretically, like in this section of highway, the asphalt is melted in some weird way, right? Like it's like, oh, like something. Uh, I don't know, because it's hard to say. Like,
so it's kind of like midway between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. It looks fairly rural. This county,
it's tough because like, what's the evidence that lights stopped, did some non-natural movements, and then left? Like, yeah, what is the, like, other than video evidence? There's not much a person can, because they're not claiming. Again, I'm interested in hearing about what this guy's car.
Yeah. Or any kind of like certifiable later where it's like you can look and be like, wow, the electronics of your car were damaged in a way consistent with an EMP or something like that, where it's like this couldn't have happened just because a fuse blew.
Well, or even if it is potentially that could be a fuse blew. Like if there's a couple of things that happen with the car, it's like, oh, these things don't normally go wrong at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, because
it's the old how much anecdotal or I can't word, like,
yeah, the plural anecdote isn't evidence, right? But
yeah, where it's like, at what point? But what a point is it?
Yeah.
Where if 100 unconnected, people, they like all are like, oh yeah, no, like this happened and I saw it. Again, it's not like evidence, but that's where the point where you're like, okay, well,
so testimony to me is garbage, right? Like testimony doesn't matter. You can have 1,000 people giving me testimony. I'm not gonna care. But as soon as there's like cameras or video footage or other things, then I'm interested. So and then I will consider it in conjunction with the testimony. I don't throw the testimony out, but testimony alone.
Well, as I said, it's enough to be like, okay, like there might be something here that we have to look.
The trouble is the claims right now just aren't like you wouldn't expect the claims.
No, and I'm not suggesting that this is the
no, but weirdly, like I think you would go with me on this. Like, it is possible that if aliens existed and were nearby, that they could do some weird flybys and leave.
Yeah.
And not leave any tangible, signs.
Like it's hard, like
so
you think of, I mean, it's a not perfect metaphor, but some of the animal species or something in our own planet, right, where it's like a drone shows up over a herd of Siberian reindeer, takes some pictures, does some stuff, fucks off. And if let's just say, for sake of argument, these reindeer are rudimentary, sapient or whatever, and they tell this story like the day this weird thing showed up, there's no physical evidence of this, but it's a story. It's like, how else do you describe this or go? It's something that's beyond their understanding or technology at the time, and in the 90s ago. So in my mind, it's an interesting, and the thing I bring it back to, I always remember I can't remember who it was, an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, which, whatever, love or hate Neil deGrasse Tyson, doesn't matter. The point was, he had a co-worker, so this is like a doctorate astrophysicist, who sincerely believed that the moon landing was faked. He tells this story, right? That he's like, he thought, nope, this isn't the real thing. Like, the moon landings were faked. It was propaganda. It was blah, blah. And Neil deGrasse Tyson asked him, he's like, well, what evidence would convince you that the moon landings were real? And he listed, okay, well, like, I want to see like actual photographic evidence of man's presence on the moon. I want to see blah, blah, blah. He listed 3 or 4 things, and I can't remember the details of the story. So Neil deGrasse Tyson, because he has access to resources that the average you and me don't, was able to like get, okay, so let's get a preliminary telescopes in Hawaii, okay, because like the bottom half of the Apollo lander is still there.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you can photograph. It's still, if you have a powerful enough telescope, you can see the moon buggy.
It's my understanding there's a mirror there as well that you can
There are things that you can see to this day and photograph on the moon that were left by humans. So he gets photographs of these things that he takes himself personally, gets whatever, and he goes to this person. He's like, I can absolutely verify, like, this is a legitimate photograph that I myself took using like this telescope at this observatory and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, here you go. And the guy's like, yeah, but like this could all be faked. And that, and the moral of the story for Neil deGrasse Tyson, where he was like, that's where he realized, like, I'm just never going, don't bother engaging with this kind of thing, because people will, if somebody is like mythical, like they'll believe all the evidence that supports their point of view, but everything that doesn't, it's like, well, that's probably fake. And you're like, okay, well, like, whatever.
Well,
so there's no point in getting in this conversation. But it creates an interesting dilemma. It's like, okay, so like, what is the burden of proof or something? Where if somebody came to you and was like, here's a video of a UFO that I took myself, I can pledge, like, this is a real video. This isn't CGI. This is something. And you look at it and it's like 3 rotating lights in the sky that like come down, move weird, and go away. At what point do you be like, okay, I guess I believe you, like,
well, at some point in all this, one has to figure out, are you more averse to false negatives or not accepting a positive, right? So my skeptical position absolutely puts me in a position where I'm going to reject some things that are true because they have not met a burden of proof.
Right.
But I am less likely to believe that
you're like
something
like
false.
The justice system is like, it's better to let 100 guilty people go free than convict one innocent person, right?
Because I don't think there is a system where I don't think there is a great system for balancing that, like, I'm going to be exactly on the fence on exactly the right way. To let, I do feel like every person is going to be one on one side or the other. The Mulder I want to believe.
Right. Yeah.
Versus, so you can't prove it wrong, so I'm going to accept it, versus, well, you haven't met a burden of proof that it's good enough. That is like, I absolutely confess that in my epistemology, there's going to be some true things that I'm not going to accept because they haven't met a burden. So
yeah.
All right. We are almost at trivia time here. May as well just get to it, I guess.
Let's do a trivia quote. The last trivia, I think we're out after this.
Yes, this is the last one.
The last one. What do you think the last?
Well, it's not Alf, apparently. Mork.
No,
Mork. Is it Mork? Mork and Mindy?
It's not Mork and Mindy.
I don't know.
It's not Space Invaders. It's not Mork. What the hell am I
Max
even
and
doing?
Me. It's not.
Yeah. In the 2016 film Arrival, Paul, why do the aliens share their knowledge with Earth? Is it to help usher our race into space, as they were helped millennia ago? Is it to avert a nuclear war between China and the USA? Did they lose a bet with the Great Attractor? Or it's so that they can ask us a favor in 3,000 years?
Yeah, so I was about to talk about this when you said, what kind of proof would you accept? Because I said, a great example. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of Contact. Arrival's a whole different one. This is the one with the circles.
That's the one, Denis Villeneuve in the
This is good. This is Amy Adams and
Amy Adams, and as you learn the language, you can see.
Right, so that means it's got to be 4. Yeah,
It is 4. Yeah, the aliens are teaching us their technology because in 3,000 years they're going to need a favor from us, and they want us to be in a position to grant that.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking of Contact, which I will get to in a minute. First,
aliens. Yes, the one with
Jodie Foster.
Yes. Oh, that was sorry. Yes. Yeah, I was thinking of yes.
Because that one.
I almost had a question on that. I like Contact.
Oh, interesting. Because Contact is the one where I was like, it's always that interesting. That thing in the very last scene is like, I'm not as curious that there was static on the camera. Yeah. What I'm curious is about how much static there was.
Yeah, there was 3.5 hours.
Yeah, like 3.5 hours of static as they fell through the ball. So,
oh, Kip, we're not even close to done.
Yeah, we got lots of time left.
But Paul, it's time to see
Well, yeah, we're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 here.
who. I have no idea. I haven't been paying attention.
No, nor I.
Well, there we go. Brand new. Never
Chascules?
Chascules. Just knocked it out of the frickin'
I
park.
believe Chascules is a first-time winner.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not a screen name.
Does Popper and Alex.
So Chascules, if you would like to get your own very own Toast the Toast tumbler and join the Tumbler Club, email me at paul@paulogia.com.
Paulogia.com.
And we will somehow do some kind of thing to see. We will verify that you're Chascules and that we can and then we get the mug out to you.
Yep.
Post haste.
Not the mug, the tumbler.
Although if
there is also a mug.
If you preferred the mug to the tumbler, that would be we're open to that.
I don't
but you can't be part of the Tumbler Club if you have just a mug.
I might have the mug here. Oh, I do have a mug here. Paul.
All right.
Left over from my there we go. If anybody's curious, specifically Chascules, I'm wearing pajama pants in case anyone cares.
I cut away.
Yeah, I want everybody to see my pajama pants. There is the Toast to Toast coffee mug.
Yep.
It's wonderful. Drink coffee from it all the time. It holds all the hot liquids.
So I wasn't actually looking. Yeah, you listed a couple of the runners up. We have Scuzzbopper in second.
That's your first mistake right there, Kip. Why don't prepare anything. Just freaking wing it. Nobody cares. It's YouTube. Just do what you want. Nobody's fact checking this.
Yeah, that's right. So congratulations to all the sheeple as well who are involved with the not many answers right. Indeed. Well done, Dave, on the once again.
I hope people had fun
as the trivia master.
Yep.
All right.
My trivia is approved by the Comics Code Authority. Yep. Except for the parts about the boobies.
Are you up to go solo for a minute?
Yes, you gotta take a bio break.
Yeah. Do you need to? Do you want me to play art?
I mean, it's hard to hear. We can't stop it, but go ahead. Let's plow through.
Or do you just want to riff with the? Or do you just want to riff with the chat?
Play the art. All right.
Okay, radio was advised to be blue and green.
I saw it was red. It was like a pulsating light. It looked like it was like went to the bottom of the airplane, but it was real big.
Okay, we're trying to contact the airbase this time. Stand by.
If there's a number for the tower.
Copy.
Maybe it's a flying Christmas. Yeah, I'm seeing it as old tiny reindeer.
A tiny green men.
No more calls on this.
Last one in was when I advised last. How'd you know that? Good for you, girlfriend. You're good, girlfriend. This is all we're going to have all day long. Directory.
Hello, Art. Kenny. This is incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible. Now, before you launch, I want to launch. There are two things here as we consider the star scenario.
Okay.
Number one, flying saucer coming down Samson Drive. Now, I've seen a star twinkle. I have seen a star twinkle. At no time did I consider it coming down a street that I was on or adjacent to. How about you?
Well, here we go. Now, this is where I had some of the details from witnesses Witness interviews back in '96, and I never, ever considered a star explanation for this based upon the descriptive comments I received. That's why when I really started looking into this, I seriously considered a helicopter explanation.
The other comment, 50 feet off the ground and large. Now,
Yeah, so one of the police, I assume police, that the dispatcher had sent out, like, oh, I see lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way. And Art was just like, this is absolutely incredible. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and also coming down the street. And actually, but he yada-yada'd over, like, Kenny was like, well, maybe it was a helicopter. And Art's like, no, I'm just moving on. It's like, because actually, that's reasonable if you are talking about lights going down a certain street. Yeah, a helicopter's reasonable. I also realized.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like, I don't know. Helicopters are loud.
They're loud. They're loud.
I don't feel like if a helicopter was flying low 50 feet, you would not confuse that for.
Have you been in a helicopter?
I have never had the chance to ride a helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did one time. Yeah, one time.
I would love to go on a helicopter tour, like through the Grand Canyon or Niagara Falls, but I have not. I've ridden in many small planes, some very small planes that were, the kind that get like thrown around by wind and go. But a helicopter, I haven't had a chance.
Nope. I was just thinking as I was, listening, what would have been frustrating back in '99 when this was happening was like people trying to tune their AM radios.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of it sounds like, oh, I've mistuned my station. So they would for us fighting away to do that. Yeah. Anyway, you're good. You need to do a break too. You're good.
Oh, I'm good, Paul.
All right.
I'm not weak.
You're not weak like I know. I have a lot of
multiple bio breaks.
I have a lot of mix with my my booze. So
I'm drinking beer tonight. But I'm not getting. Beer's what I drink when I want to just have fun. Rum's what I drink when I want to get angry.
Well, those are synonymous for me. So
that's a little sad, honestly.
Yeah. There's a lot about me when the truth be told, just this sad. Everyone's just
see, this is what I kept saying. We need to have a show where we just get just drunk and angry.
Well,
and I will get drunk and you can get angry. So if
the fine folks over at Coast to Coast don't leave us alone, we may have to shift our format. We'll see.
Plan B. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not a star. I'm sorry, Kenny. I can't even continue, at least based on what I've heard to now,
right,
to even reasonably.
Well, let's call it the way it is. The star explanation is pretty well trounced right here.
Trounced. It's stomped upon and laughed at.
Okay. We'll hand that to you. We'll give you that.
Well, all right. I don't see how any reasonable person could conclude otherwise. Come on, coming down the street. That isn't the way you describe a star. At best case, you describe a star as a pulsating, slightly moving up and down or sideways kind of thing, depending on your vision, but never, ever coming down the street.
We're going to hear some more descriptive details upcoming that's also going to confound the armchair theorist, I want to say, that looks at this and tries to put a dismissive explanation on the case. We're going to hear some details that will be most intriguing, I think.
All right, Kenny, stay right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to The Real Thing. This occurred in Trumbull County. What you're hearing is from the Trumbull County 911 Center, provided for us by Kenny Young, who also got it for NBC.
This is nowhere as funny as Reno 911, by the way. That's what I had in mind. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I was hoping for.
Don't know what I was thinking.
Although I did like the female police officer who was like, seen any green men over there? Whatever it was while I was up. Yeah.
Like generations over here. Yeah.
But of course, NBC was able only to air a very small portion of this.
Yes, I can't imagine NBC dedicated much airtime to what we just heard.
Yeah, the weirdest thing. It's probably a conspiracy, Paul. That broadcast television in the 90s when they were pulling down 50 million.
Yeah, I can't believe that the Trumbull County Gazette knew all about this for 2 years, Dave, and said nothing.
Said nothing. Yeah. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. They, and by they, you know who I mean.
The man.
Jews, don't want you to know what's going on. Yeah. That was a bottle of Old Granddad Pages. Old Granddad, bonded Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 50% alcohol, which I'm enjoying while I can still get it. I don't think it's actually available anymore because most Kentucky bourbons and boozes have been pulled from the shelves of our local.
As is the Trump beer, apparently.
Yeah, the Trump
I don't think exists.
Yeah, I'm a little less worried about that.
Have you been watching Paradise?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No. You just made up thing.
Very good show. For us, it's on Disney Plus. I think it's on Hulu in the States. The premise is that the Earth suffers a extinction level event.
Okay.
But some billionaires, because of climate change, but I believe it's melting ice caps. I forget what it is. Anyway, crisis level event. But billionaires, if you can believe it, Dave, have been aware of this and actually built themselves an escape city.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And so the whole thing, you don't learn this right away, but the whole thing actually is taking place in this escape city.
Right.
But one of the people, no surprise, like the president of the United States gets to be in the town, in the escape city. And anyway, there was a great conversation. So he's played by the actor who plays Cyclops in the original X-Men films. His name.
Oh shit! Man.
And he's in Westworld.
Yeah,
you know who I mean. Anyway, but he is great because now he's the president, but it's a town.
Marsden. James Marsden.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, he has all this great stuff where he's like, on his first day as president, he found out all the secrets and he was so disappointed. But then, but this was one of the secrets. But
did all the secrets suck?
Yeah, all the secrets sucked. He's like very upset about the secrets.
Yeah.
Anyway, actually, you should watch if you have much better than I anticipated it being. Paradise. It's
Paradise. Well, I'll check.
Yeah.
I'll have to look. I've never even heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's recent, quite recent. Yeah, very good.
That's like what was the show with the ship that was on like a tourist cruise of like Titan's moons that has an engine failure and
oh yeah, what was that one?
What was it? And Hugh Laurie's in it and
yes,
like there's some really funny people in it.
No, I know what you're thinking of, where you ended up being like
Somebody
lost people surviving.
It's
yeah.
And the public relations guy's a nihilist and just keeps like saying whatever, like doesn't care about. Yeah.
I don't want to give this away. This one was much more of a thriller / mystery.
Avenue 5. Yeah, I think it was Avenue 5. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, Paradise. I'll check it out.
Paradise. Yeah, check that out.
You got me into that. I blame you for this, son of a bitch. Was it Tempest? Whatever, the one with like the people on like the farm.
Teapot.
Teapot. Because it's Tempest and Teapot. Yes, Teapot. And then it's like, and it's canceled. And it's like, God damn it, Paul.
But it was good, right?
It was. You got me into it, like, and I'm like, oh, I'm so good. And then it's like, and next week it's canceled. And I'm like,
I know, but it wasn't canceled when I was pitching it.
No, you weren't. Yeah.
And I'm caught up on Severance finally, by the way. So
okay.
We can have chats about that.
Yeah.
But the bastards over at Lumen. Yeah. By the way, anyone.
One of my new favorite things about that show was that they frequently talk about how Keir Egan, like lived and worked in an ether mill.
Yep.
And are just like, oh, this is all like, it's like this guy was frequently exposed to just tons of ether, which is known to cause brain damage and hallucinations.
Yeah.
It's season 2 has been so good. I've been shocked at how much they're just like, okay, so we're just gonna start telling you like what's going on.
Right, because my fan theory.
We're not gonna keep teasing it like Lost, like, oh yeah. So here's the things. Yeah.
My fan theory is that they have agreed to only do 3 seasons.
That's what it feels like to me. I'm like, this feels like a 3 season, like they have an ending and they're
Ben Stiller went and said, you know what, I can't do this forever.
Yeah. And whoever the guy that originally wrote it, whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, and I love that. If that is true, love that. Yeah.
That was like, you were never a big Babylon 5 guy, were you?
No, but Lost was my thing.
So here's the thing. Babylon 5 was written as a 5-season show, and they wrote all 5 seasons before they filmed a single one. So there are little hints and teasers of shit that happens in season 5 in season 1, and there's an ending to the story in season 5. Like, so the first 5 seasons are like, this is a fantastic story that makes sense and everything's there because they wrote all 5 seasons before they filmed anything. And then it was very popular, and they're like, you got to do more. Kind of like X-Files or whatever. So they're like, okay, I guess this happens after. There's, like all of a sudden you're like, well, but wait, you've beat the like main you've solved the problem and gone. Right. It's like, but also then these other things happen where
this is a Highlander 2 problem.
And which is very much the same thing that happened to X-Files, where they're like, Fox is like, this show is one of our top 3 rated shows. You have to, like, it has to keep going. Here's $50 million. Do 2 more seasons. And they're like, I guess the aliens aren't coming yet because reasons. And what if this, right? And then it all starts falling apart. You have this like sort of tight narrative, and then it Lost is a whole other thing where it's like, I don't think you ever had.
No, they didn't fucking know what they were doing.
Which is a very Abrams. That's he's good at coming up with beginnings. He's not great at coming up with endings.
Yeah.
Star
Wars 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Star Wars 7 was good. It was 8, 9 again. So Star Wars 7's good.
Well, that's the problem.
I don't really know where this is going.
No, that was the problem. Is you think the person who wrote that would know where it was going, but no.
He probably had like a rough idea, but then the person you gave it to, fucking Glass Onion guy, just like, what if we subvert all the audience's expectations? Like, no, don't do that. This isn't the venue for that. Don't.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan freaking Johnson.
Who I have enjoyed the Knives Out series. So weirdly,
I did not like Glass Onion.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Dave Bautista is in it, so you know.
He is. I do like Dave Bautista. I think he's good in it.
And I'm inclined to whatever Dave Bautista's in. I just like for the time being. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the Killer Game? That was okay.
Killer's Game. Yeah. For like when you come into something with zero expectation, Killer's Game is like for like it's just I'm just randomly picking something off streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I enjoyed it. It was very good. It was kind of like a poor man's Bullet Train.
Yeah, it was, but
it was fine, and he's good in it, and it's like it does.
And the twist actually, the mid-level twist actually just made it better. So that's cool. I thought it was going.
Ben Kingsley's in it, and like there's a lot of.
And the reason why we're mentioning that is it's the director and star of the film that I am associated with is in that one. So
what film is this, Paul?
It's called Afterburn. Hopefully it comes out this year. Look for it. We haven't signed a distribution deal yet, so.
Well, there you go. I'm super pissed off, by the way. There's a movie that is currently airing in the United States, an A24 film called Queen of the Ring, story of Mildred Burke, which is it's like, it looked really good. I am a pro wrestling fan, and this is pro wrestling history, and it's like, there's no distribution in Canada, period.
Well, that's so.
Cool.
I'm
I'll
so
see it
I'm
on
still
streaming somewhere eventually.
no, but like, I'm still here.
Yeah,
Literally didn't play in my province.
yeah.
And it was nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. It just came out on video on Tuesday, so I'm anxious to see it because now finally I can, legally watch it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even illegally watch it because it was like whatever. But
yeah.
anyway,
It's like, I want to see these movies in theaters. I will give
know.
you money. Shut up and take my money.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Then they trotted this fellow out, who said it was a star.
Today's
My
show brought
guest
to you by
is
dancing.
Kenny Young. He's a UFO investigator / researcher, or the other way around. And what he has in his hands is hot as a firecracker. It is the...
I'm definitely getting... I gotta pause this. Dancing Queen is playing. I know we're sponsored by Dancing, but
Dancing Queen was specifically mentioned in the sponsorship.
I know, right? So I have to pause it so it doesn't play many more than 9 seconds.
Unabridged, with the exception of 2 F words, I believe. The rest of the language stays in there, so be advised. There is language in what...
Did you see Venom Last Dance? I
have never seen a single Venom movie.
Oh, okay. Good.
I hear the first one's fine.
The first one is good. Fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The third one, the world almost comes to an end because of the song Dancing Queen. That's just why I was asking.
And the thing is, so like I still half-ass pay attention to Marvel comics. And the thing that I know that they do a really shitty job of telling the story of Null and like the symbiote invasion, which was a big story arc in Marvel. And so I'm like, okay, it's too bad that like actual Disney isn't using this as a villain and go because they can do cool.
Okay, so you actively you're aware of what's in the comics. You're actively reading the comics.
I half read and like sort of read Wikipedia. Like I didn't read every comic in the Null, like the whole symbiote invasion, but I read some of them.
But I have a different.
I'm very aware of the story. Yes.
I have a non-Venom related question about Marvel Comics.
Okay.
So what is happening with mutants and Ms. Marvel right now?
It's weird. It depends. So like they did this whole thing. I'm not 100% sure what's happening right now. I'll give you that caveat.
Okay.
There was a thing where they basically like killed off all the mutants and were like mutants aren't a thing. This is back still when Marvel.
This is the Fox time, but now apparently something fucky-ish is happening with Ms. Marvel and mutants. Right now.
So I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now with mutants and Ms. Marvel. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe someone in the chat knows because all I heard was that something fucky is happening with Ms. Marvel and the
what I'll usually do is that basically like once or twice a year I'll like kind of go on a multi-day like okay I'm just gonna get a bunch of Marvel comics and read and like catch up. But I don't follow week by week, month by month.
Yeah, I was keeping up to Batman up until probably about 2 years ago, in a similar way, but I just can't anymore. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's
You're hearing, and it made sense to leave the bulk
I will
of it
say,
in. In fact,
I went back and Paul, within like the last month, I reread The Long Halloween and what's the follow-up series to Long Halloween?
Hush.
Hi, no. Dark. Shit. I literally own the comics and I read them within the last month. It's like the same art team and everything, right? They're still good. They're so good. They fall
not Court of the Owl stuff, but
no. Now I gotta Google it.
I could have left the F words in. I probably would have.
Dark Victory. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yes. About the holiday killer.
Yes.
And it's Alberto Falcone. Like it's all the Falcone family and that kind of But Long Halloween still.
Oh yeah,
my money, my single favorite Batman story series. Yeah.
My children trust me to curate their Batman experience, so I like give them like 3 or 4 graphic novels a year.
Yeah.
And it is great because you can, like, if you just selectively pick some of the graphic novels,
Yes.
you know, Dark Halloween,
10 Nights of the Beast.
Kingdom Come, 10 Nights of the Beast, Court of the Owls.
Like, there are amazing Batman.
Death of the
absolutely amazing
Family.
Batman
You know, like,
stories.
there's so many good little stories that you can.
I've always been more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy, but I will say, like, at its best, I think Batman at his best, like, those are the best comics. That is, you do not get better than the best Batman stories.
Yeah.
Like Tower of Babel,
Dark
Long
Knight
Halloween,
Returns,
Hush, Court of Owls. These are the things where it's like, this is
agree,
as good as it gets. I won't say they're the greatest comics ever made, but it's like they're
but they're
right up there.
Yeah. Frank Miller run, for sure.
Frank Miller, yes. Yeah.
Art just said that. So as you were checking, I thought I'd play for a second. Art just like, I wish I could have left the F words in. That would have been better. So he did, obviously, but that just means there was some kind of editing happening.
Radio, yeah. There's lights in the sky. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never seen the bars go this high. There's something with this sound file that's making it very loud.
Look at that star coming down the street. 50 feet high. A star. You know what a star is, right? Star is the sun. Looks like a little pinpoint of light out there, except for our star, of course, which keeps us warm and does many other things. Kenny, welcome back.
Thank you, Art.
Where do we go from?
Well, let me give a brief review of what we just heard. Officer was dispatched to the scene of the disturbance there on the Sampson Drive vicinity, and he briefly made reference. It's kind of hard to catch. He said, CC stopped me and said the lights were right above my house.
That's right.
I got some additional details about that during my interview about 2 years ago with a gentleman. He said that he encountered an elderly gentleman that was wandering in the roadway. You would have caught this. It was the person that was walking his dog, and he appeared in the headlights of the police car.
Yes.
As the car was en route to the scene. And so this person told the officer that the object was right above my house.
Mm.
And then he said the object then moved off down in a certain direction. So from this point, the dispatcher is going to contact the FAA tower operator.
This is what I was going like. This is what you needed before, where it's like, here's a little preamble of what these calls are, instead of just jumping from call to call to call.
And I was actually excited because Kenny actually had some value added here. He actually made himself useful here for a second.
This isn't just a YouTube reaction where it's like, wow. Yeah, well, but you're just like listening to.
Yeah. You know. Because before he was just, this is found footage and I found the footage and I bring no other value. Like, so.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job, Kenny.
Good job, Kenny. You nailed it.
Yes, sir. This is Ryan from Liberty Township Police Department in Yeston, Ohio. We have a report of some flying object in our jurisdiction, in our area, above the Sampson Drive, Fifth Avenue extension area. Do you know of anything that should be in our airspace this time, close to the ground? This is not a prank phone call, I swear. You can call me back to verify.
Look at the air scope, and they go 60-mile diameter of Youngstown, and there is nothing out there.
Oh, shit.
Not even anything else high.
We've got 5.
Shit. Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Sorry?
What are you laughing at?
He's like, this is not going. He's like, wow, I'm looking at the radar.
Oh,
There's nothing within 60 yards. The dispatcher like, oh, shit.
I missed that. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha.
Oh, goddamn.
Goddamn.
They have wine in boxes now?
5 accounts, 5 calls in on this. Something's flying in our area and it's low to the ground. Would you be able to monitor like a Cessna or something with a light on it?
Well, know if it was, do you mean visibly?
No, with the radar.
Oh, with the radar, it depends on how high it is and where they are. You know, if it's low radar coverage, so it is.
Okay, now I have to go here and tell them something, and I don't want to say you couldn't find anything. Is there any, like...
As far as, any kind of helicopter traffic or anything down low, they don't have any kind of requirements to...
it made no noise.
Unless they're coming into the airport here.
Okay, so you have no communication with helicopters?
Yeah, it could be a helicopter.
Okay.
The helicopter's particularly slow. Is that location anywhere near a hospital?
We are close to a hospital, but it's as low as they said it was to the ground. It would be approximately 5 miles away from the hospital. We're closer, that end of town is closer, like, out towards the Vienna line, Vienna Air Base area, and that's what I thought maybe it was related to.
Yeah, we own it.
Because we got a lot of UFOs that just invade hospitals on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. I assume they're talking, like, is there...
because they have like the star,
yeah.
like the
they
helicopter.
wouldn't call it the stars, but that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so someone tried to scam my parents.
Oh no!
Like it's like, oh, you won we have that, for those
Star
we have
lottery
the stars,
or whatever.
The stars lottery, right? It's like hospital lottery. It's a lottery. Stars is the I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's the helicopter.
It's the air ambulance. Yeah.
Air ambulance. Helicopter, right? Air ambulance. So every year there's it's like $100 a ticket is the prizes, but it's fundraising for the air ambulance. So my dad gets this call, and when he was telling me about it, I looked it up, and it's like, well, there's like an RCMP warning that there's an ongoing scam. But it's like, yeah, hey, you won brand new Ford F-150 with the grand prize truck from the thing. And my dad's like, okay. And they're like, there's 5 colors. You got to choose, like, the list is this way you want. My dad's like, I want the metallic red. They're like, great, good. They're like, this now, the truck isn't plated, right? Like, you're responsible for plating it. My dad's like, okay, that makes sense. And they're like, but we'll drop it off at your place. But there is a $900 tow fee.
Of course, yeah.
For transport. My dad's like, perfect. When you I will have a checker cash ready for you.
Yep.
As soon as you're here. And they're like, well, we kind of need it. He's like, no. Yeah, show up with the truck. I promise I'll pay you. Like, I'll have cash in hand ready. Show up with the brand new, $100,000.
Good for your dad. Yeah. Good for your dad.
And they're like, well, we really. And he's like, yeah. Anyways, don't call this number again. Click.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad as somebody who works in IT and go that those scams actually work. But yeah. That was good for you. Yeah, that's the way he's like, he's like, I was pretty sure as soon as they said I won, I'm like, no, I didn't win. This isn't. Yeah. And with the area code, it was a Canadian area code, but it was the wrong area code for the region. He's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't the
So Scotty Orange, I must say, I apologize. Something's happening with my little thing here. I can't put you up on screen, but your $2 super chat, thank you so much.
It's probably full of curses and willies and fuzz.
It's the ghost stealing aliens. Ghost stealing aliens.
Ghost stealing aliens. I almost feel like we should just re-listen to the Mel's Holes episode because that's the best. Here's the problem, Paul. We peaked too early.
We went too early, yeah.
We went too early. Like that's the best. That's literally the best that Art Bell ever had. And we blew our wad.
I don't know.
There's other good stuff.
I kind of feel like this is fun.
It isn't bad. You're not wrong. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything go on, nothing come from that direction.
Okay. Then I'm going to repeat.
Guys just go out here northbound, climbed up high, and nothing's going on around here.
Okay, I am going to advise you of this. You could take it and file it under G and in your garbage can if you want to. We've got accounts of this. Hold on 1 second for me.
Paul and I have been to Oak Island in person.
Together and took a picture.
Yep. We were holding hands. It was adorable.
We were not.
Well, no. But I didn't have my arm around your shoulders.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't think Art ever did an episode on Oak Island.
Well, I won't say never. but not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think so, but yeah, it's possible. We could chat something to check into.
Yeah.
We never did get a consensus. I forgot to do a poll. I totally forgot to make the poll about the whole
Oh yeah.
What
was it even about?
No, it was about whether we wanted to have Larry King.
Oh yeah. The Art Bell interview with Larry King. Well, let's just get in the comments, everybody. Do you want to see an interview, Larry King interviewing Art Bell, or screw it? We don't want to hear Larry King.
Well, the thing about it is that there's no weird guest, right?
No, it's like 22 minutes long or 23 something.
So you're only getting like Art doesn't have his own weirdness to sell.
Yeah, it's Larry King talking to Art Bell in a more normal way.
But it would be more of a normal thing, but you get some insight into art.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got 4 to 6 calls. Hold on 1 second. Okay, at this time, I've had 4 to 6 calls come in about a lit object, well-lit object, blue-green lights, hovering above the area of Sampson Drive and 5th Avenue. The object was low to the ground, did not make any noise, hovered there for some time, then continued moving down the 5th Avenue extension, flowed. My unit was out. He caught something he thought was red. Somebody described it as the end of a fighter pilot plane. I don't know what the hell kind of lines of continuum they're drawing here. I don't see any, but this is what I was advised of, so I wanted to call.
Okay, well, we don't, I have a service downstairs in the radar room. I would have a finder with some phone numbers. We have some 800 numbers as far as, identified flying object reports and things like that. If you wish, you can get, during business hours.
Like I said, I don't know.
I don't see anything out there, nothing on the radar scope. I haven't seen anything, and, we don't really do anything with the information.
Okay, I thought I'd pass along in case somebody was maybe flying without permission and, night flying or something like that. I didn't know what was going on, but as long as I've done my job passing along, and I don't want to sound like a crackpot, but that's what we've got in so far.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
998 radio.
998, good.
I'm really clear. I don't see anything right now. What I saw, I have no idea what I saw. It just might have been just a light up in the sky. I don't know. Get service.
Copy. 925, good.
You may want to advise your surrounding jurisdictions to stop and interrogate if they come across that.
Copy.
You're making a scrunchy face.
I didn't like that sound.
No, I
high
didn't.
squealy. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get a copyright strike from someone who's had their whole channel is like making fax noises or like the dial-up
ASMR videos.
Dial-up sounds of
This is the least relaxing sound ever. 3 subscribers.
Yeah.
This channel is horrible.
Is that Hutchins Road and Sampson Drive out in Liberty?
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder if I heard on the...
Art is definitely the type that if he went to the White House, he would not wear a suit.
No.
Scanner where they were looking for that big blue.
Right now.
Yeah, did they find anything yet?
Not yet. The dispatcher for Liberty Township right now, she's speaking with the air base to see if they have possibly something in the area at this time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I heard on scanner. I thought it was flying saucers fall from the ground.
Well, that's why she contacted
the news media in on that.
I beg your pardon?
Did they call the news on that?
I have no
idea. That's all I heard in the scare that they did. But they think it might be from the air base. Right. As I said, the Liberty Dispatch is on the phone right now speaking with the air base. They think that's where it's from. Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. We've contacted the FAA administration, and one, they've advised nothing on the radar scope within 60-mile radius of Youngstown. They did advise they have no communication with any helicopters or any private-owned vehicles, air vehicles. They're not aware of anything then, right? Negative. He checked the radar and advised negative, nothing on the radar within 60-mile radius of the Youngstown area. Again, he did verify they have no contact with any helicopter or private-owned vehicles that might be in the area. We are continually getting calls on this, so. What's the area? Still Sampson, 5th Avenue. We're right there. I don't see anything up in the air now. How long ago did these calls come in? This just in within 2. Who's there, radio? 98 radio. Dead.
I don't feel like this is very illuminating.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of like, a lot of people said they saw something and like, oh, I don't see anything on any kind of like radar go. So good luck. Yeah.
I was wrong. This is 2 hours. It's a 2-hour file. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Do we want to jump ahead to see if there's calls?
Let's see if we can find some calls. Let's see.
Sweet.
Right.
Where do we go from here? Do we eventually hear from the man who climbed the tower?
Right. Yes. And there's some very exciting parts still to come, and we need to get more into the star explanation at this point too. After hearing this last part.
Very good. Stay right there, Kenny. As the
Stay right there, Paul.
Steve and Doug, it'd be appreciated. Later in the show, we got to get off at 15:30 hours Eastern Standard Time. The document itself is instructions on what will occur around Y2K time, leave restrictions. And I wish I could read it to you, but I would get people in trouble if I did. It is a very sobering document. In a moment, we'll get back to Kenny, Trumbull County.
Oh, Y2K. Paid for your house, Paul.
All right. No delay. Right back to Kenny Young. Kenny, welcome back.
Thanks a lot, Art.
How do you want to proceed? Do you want to go back to it, or do you want to make a comment on the SAR thing now?
Let's briefly comment on what we just heard. I think the last segment was really compelling.
Yes.
It was the police pursuit, and we do get indications that they have triangulated the object's position as they approach from varying places. That's kind of difficult to do, I guess, if it were a star. There's a saying, it's like if it's too...
Did I jump too far? Did we miss pursuit?
No, I mean, I feel like you didn't, because there's probably going to be a lot of like hard...
know, if it was the distance or what the situation was.
Oh, that sounds like a caller. Hold on, let me back that up.
But then I don't know who did it. They decided they called the national weather thing, and the weather had it on their radar. So that's me. Well, what I was just thinking, who's ever running the show out there? Who's really into this? No. Maybe nobody is. Who's ever running the show out here is laughing at all you guys out there. But that's because they're in a closed building and we're out here looking at this. Okay. But no, what I'm wondering is maybe somebody might want to give the national weather people a call. Because
all right, so this is another 911 call.
Yeah,
apparently
they're still doing more 911 calls.
Was people comforting each other by rationalizing? That's what I heard. What did you hear?
Well, this is the gentleman's being very candid by admitting, well, what we've been looking at has been a star.
Well, he's saying what he's looking at is a star.
Right.
And he made a rational, very literate explanation of how he was tracking it in an arc. Right. But that doesn't at all add up with what all the close eyewitnesses said.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to just draw a little picture here of what's happening here, and we just heard the drama of the tape, to see the county police agencies
Timothy Harmon.
Timothy's cracked the code and figured out
Timothy
essentially
says,
this entire channel. Or this
6 people sitting around drinking beers could duplicate this entire episode.
Yeah.
Extra 75 cents for tariff. Yep.
Don't let everybody peek behind the kimono, Timothy. Yeah. The Emperor has clothes and they're glorious.
All right, I'm jumping ahead here.
I was going to say, when you go on Larry King, it'd be better to try to fit in with probably a suit or something, because most people, besides your listeners, are going to probably think you're off base pretty much. If you dress, and usually they might.
Yeah, but you know what? I really don't care.
Yeah, well, that's the point. And I see that you spend a lot of time on this radio station, and they have people look down at you, because this stuff is pretty serious stuff. This might have everything to do with us in the future and the past and everything wrapped together.
You have a good point. It's really a good point.
It's nice. If you went there in a suit, a lot of people who were probably disbelievers will look at you and go, well, he looks serious.
I'm not going in a suit. No way.
Something
Do
nice.
Do you currently own a suit, Paul?
Yes.
More than one?
Yes, I have multiple suit jackets.
Single breast or double breast? Or both?
Single.
Just single, eh?
Yeah.
I'm a double breast guy. I like a double breast.
Yeah, no, I used to.
I like the single breast because I do enjoy a 3-piece suit.
Mm.
And for a 3-piece suit, you really need a single breast so you can have it open and see the vest. I don't show it off, but I actually am a guy who enjoys, like, I think I look good in a suit. I like formal wear. I have like 10 or 12 suits.
You are, yeah, and you absolutely do. You absolutely rock it. My occasions to wear such things tend
there was
to
a
be.
There was a time I wore them a lot more for work when I worked for the government, but now it's very rare. Once a year, maybe I'll wear a suit. Yeah.
And pretty much I'm on at this point, it's like weddings and funerals are pretty much the occasions. So it's,
Yeah.
Nice, but not.
You're wearing like a pirate shirt.
Well, yeah, that's me.
Well, in general,
well, I mean,
I've always liked. I think a double breast suit looks better. Like it.
I used to have for sure, but they're not quite as in vogue.
They're out of fashion now, but I still think it's a little more. I don't know what the word is. It stands out. It's a if you get a really good tailored one and like it's just a look. You got a vibe. You are, if you're somebody like me who's like, now I'm the fucking center of attention and everybody look at me, and I'm fine with that, then that's the suit for you. Yeah.
If I were, normally I've been on TV a few times, hard copy and stuff, and I wore a suit. I mean, if I went normally to where I normally look, people wouldn't take me seriously at all.
But if I wear a suit, that's not me, and I'd rather have people think, geez, he should have wore a suit, than I would have people saying, look at the fake. He doesn't wear suits. He looks stupid in a suit. And I do look stupid in a suit. I'm not going to wear a suit.
Well, the picture of you on your book looks pretty good.
You have a badly tailored suit, Art. I'm just going to say it. If you look stupid in a suit, you've got a badly tailored suit. Get a bespoke suit. It's worth the money.
It's true. I know what Art looks like. He absolutely would. There are definitely suits that would have suited him.
Yeah. A suit with a turtleneck. I think the turtleneck and like a black shirt, like don't necessarily wear it
especially in the late 90s, would have been just fine. Yeah.
Or even a sport jacket.
Yeah.
And like some nice slacks. Not necessarily say like, Art would have looked good.
Yeah.
Could have absolutely pulled that off. Yep.
Mm-hmm. It looks sort of dark and ominous.
At worst, he'd have looked like Frankenstein's monster.
Did you ever see? I think it was on Netflix. David Harbour. Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein?
No.
I recommend it.
Okay.
It's like this weird 40-minute film. And it's hard to describe. You should watch it.
That looks pretty neat.
Dark. Well, that's me, dark and ominous.
Yeah, that looks great.
All right, sir.
And anyway, but back to the thing here. I was wondering, it's very important if we had some video on this. You still there?
Yes.
Okay. The officer Will, the guy who stopped for a second to gather his senses, maybe he should be regressed. Maybe they stopped time and did something with him.
Now, I agree with you, absolutely. I thought that also was a very dramatic moment, Kenny, when he said he's got to gather himself.
Right. He was shaken. He did tell me that in the phone conversation. Shaken by this, had his car affected, blinding light. I guess that was shaking.
It would, and it just isn't typical of what Venus would do. First time caller line, you're on the air with Kenny Young and Art Bell.
Hi.
Hello, where are you?
I'm in
North Carolina.
Yes.
Well, you don't say hello out there anyway. You say, hey.
I was just listening to the show. I listened from the net, and I think the video stream is very cool. What I wanted to mention was, how can so many people see this and they can deny it, like it's not there?
Well, I think that to some degree it's the normal human condition after you have had something like this happen to you to go into a state of denial so that you don't have to face what otherwise is going to be the answer.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it seems to me like, there's very many people that are so close-minded to this that, they're just so set in their way that they'll only believe, what their government tells them to believe, as far as what I can tell.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of that. At one point, there was a reference to a weather balloon. Now, that's pop culture UFO answer time.
Right.
You remember?
Just a weather balloon. Like the Mystery Science Theater when the UFOs come in and crashing. Nothing to hear. Just one. Just the weather balloon.
I assume you're not watching Creature Commandos.
I mean, I watched every. Yes, I.
Oh, have you? Okay. All right.
Oh, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it because I remember, like, I enjoy Creature Commandos the comics, and when I heard it's like, oh, James Gunn's doing Creature Commandos, I'm like, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Me too. It's very good.
Yeah. Big fan.
That, Kenny?
Yes,
sure.
David Harbour.
I think
Frankenstein and Creature Commandos. But so in this movie I'm talking about, so David Harbour plays himself. So it's like a mockumentary. It's done as if it's a real thing, and there's like a stage play that became like a made-for-TV early '80s broadcast with his dad. So it's David Harbour in this playing his dad. This is a Juilliard trained actor who took this like play and called Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein, which is like this super over dramatized version of Frankenstein. And David Harbour's like doing interviews and stuff, and he's talking about he's like rediscovering and he's finding stuff about his father, and then he's also kind of finding out his father was like an asshole and a hack.
Oh, okay.
Like it's really weird. There's multiple layers to it. It's hard to describe, but it's very good and very worth watching. Yeah.
Sounds cool.
So there you go. That's all I have to say about that. But it's not David Harbour playing. He does play parts in it, but it's his fault. Like it's supposed to be his father who is acting in this, and as he kind of like gets into this, and then he's interviewing, and people are like telling him all these like horrible stories about his dad. He's like, right, like it's plus interspersed with these clips of this just like ridiculously cheesy sort of like soap opera set where it's like it's a single room and people keep coming in and like having conversations, or like someone will knock on the door and you open it and it'll be like the watchtower or the lighthouse keeper like comes in and like gives like a 2-minute monologue about something and then just leaves and you never see him again. It's like a very 70s, 80s sort of TV, right? Where it's like they clearly only had the budget for like this one room and
right.
People just kind of like come in, like say whatever and then just walk away. And it's so it's if you go into it with the right sort of like mindset and understand like the vibe they're going for and stuff. Like for me, I loved it because I remember shit like this when I was a kid.
Right.
I could see somebody who was 20 being like, I don't get what's going on here. Or the old thing of like anybody you've seen or go where you clearly see a movie and you're like, well, this is obviously a stage play that has been done sort of like Glengarry again, Ross, something where it's like 95% of the action happens in a single place because it's a stage play.
Right.
So if you can't constantly be shifting locations, people come in and out of this room because it's a set. It's a set on a stage, and you can't just like keep changing that. So you see movies like that sometimes. It's not a stage play, but like a good example is what's the Quentin Tarantino with like the heist that goes wrong and they
Reservoir Dogs,
right? Where it's like that could have been a stage play where it's
Sure.
essentially
and they have actually done it. It's been adapted to a stage play. Yeah.
But it was that, but it's like because there's like 3 locations in that entire movie, right? Like different people keep coming in and doing stuff and having these conversations, and that's a, you know, that this is what this is. I'm going to stop talking about this David Harbour weird thing now. But everybody should go to Netflix. Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein. Yeah,
largely to blame too.
It is. Because so people with a sort of a chuckle in their voice come up with a standard response answer. No question about it. All right. Wildcard line, you're on the air with Kenny Young and Art Bell. Hi.
Yes, this is Bruce from the Woodlands, Texas.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi. The thing that intrigues me is the plasma, the colors, and that's what I'm always listening for to try and determine what the propulsion method. Very intriguing, and also it seems as though there was some interference in the RF background at some point. I don't know. I had a real quick comment on another Y2K issue.
Okay, that's for another.
Plasma color is interesting. Also, there's background information. But let me ask you about Y2K.
Y2K. I mean, in '99.
Yeah, I suppose
that was a big deal.
It's a hot topic.
Big deal. Yeah.
Show, sir.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate your comments on this, though.
All righty.
And take care. First time caller line, you're on the air with Kenny Young and Art Bell. Hi.
Hi, Art. How you doing tonight?
Well, it's been quite a night.
Yes, indeed. I'm calling from Youngstown right now.
Oh, no kidding.
And I had the fortune of listening to the last 2 hours of the show with my Trumbull County road map in front of me.
Huh?
And I was basically tracking the police officers and where they said they were going. And I think you guys will find this interesting. Remember how originally they said that they were tracking it southeast towards a place called Brookfield?
Yes.
And then the star that they ended up looking at was in a place called Cortland?
Yes.
Well, you'll be interested to know that from the airport, Brookfield is approximately 10 miles east by southeast, whereas Cortland is 10 miles north by northwest.
Not the track the star would have taken.
Not at all. So, and nobody saw anything backtracking. So it sounds like whatever that thing did is it either took off or from the descriptions that they were giving, perhaps somebody was taking a night flight in a hot air balloon.
Look, there's no way in hell that what we heard, for the most part, was people pondering whether they were seeing a star or not, twinkling.
They were definitely chasing something towards Brookfield, that's for sure.
But here's what's interesting, too, is toward the end of the tape, the officer was observing the jet plane, and he speculated they were from the military base.
And still nothing from the FAA.
So he was able to see the jet plane.
Well, actually, that tower that he was...
Maybe we should have previewed this. We'd have known that the later 911 calls were more active and cool.
We could have cut the first half hour. Yeah.
Standing in is about 2 miles to the due east of it, and I'm sure he would have seen any plane coming in or taking off from that airport.
Right. He was also saying, I see the stars, I see the jet plane. I see
we need an intern. We can get
Darcy would have been on top of this.
Darcy could have listened to it. You and I can give our legitimate first take reactions.
Yep.
Right. No pretense. No.
That's right.
No falsehood. This is the first time we listen. But Darcy's gone through and he's like, yeah, you know what? The first 20 minutes of 911 calls, not that great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut that out. Move right on to the sweet nectar
chasing them down to Parksburg or wherever they were going to.
Brookfield. Yeah.
Brookfield.
UFO.
That's right. 3 of them.
Sure. What time did this apparently all happen?
Well, the event itself, when I got the tapes, I was told that the tapes began recording at midnight, and the tape reel was from the midnight to 6 a.m. time frame. So we heard about a 6-hour event compacted down onto one tape. So we don't really have an accurate...
Venus in the dead of night,
Yeah, we don't have the reflection of real time.
So this went on for 6 hours?
Yes, the heated stuff happened within the first hour. The pursuit sequence, I believe, was within the second hour. And then I think from that point, you hear the random discussions and so forth happen for the rest of the night.
Huh. Remarkable stuff.
It was quite a night. I've wondered where was I on that night and questioned, what was I doing
that night? If I'd looked to the north, maybe I would have seen the whole thing.
Maybe you would have.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Have a good night, gentlemen.
You too. Thanks, caller. East of the Rockies, you're on the air with Kenny Young and Art Bell. Hi.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
Just fine. Where are you?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, yeah, Ohio, all right. Got your attention out there in Ohio, I see.
Yeah, I got a friend that was on the department up there at the time.
Oh, really?
And something no one knows about, you know how you had the fighters that basically scrambled from the base right there.
Obviously.
Like the next day or so, DOD showed up, the Department of Defense, and everything became hush-hush up there.
Now, how do you know that?
My friend was a deputy sheriff up there at the time, and he had friends on base, and everything was just locked up and sealed.
You know, it sounds to me like you should be interviewed by Kenny Young. Kenny?
If you could, you know, I would like to talk to this person and get some details about this.
Okay, I'll see what I can do if there's where I can get a hold of you off the air and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, sure thing.
Do you want to just go ahead and give out your email?
Maybe you'll make it into my 72-page book that I sell for $10.
Yeah.
A PDF for it for $10. Yeah.
PDF of $10. Yeah.
Email address.
Okay, email address is ufo@fuse.net.
That's FUSE Fuse?
Yes.
.net.
And the website address is home.fuse.net/UFO.
All right, and there is, for those of you who didn't get that, there's a link. Just go down to Kenny's name on my website, Kenny Young, and you'll see the link right there, and you can send him email. Is that reasonable, caller?
Oh, yeah, no problem at all.
All right, then please do. Have you heard anything like that before?
Well, gosh, you know, when I got the tapes, I was told that there was some trouble obtaining the tapes at first, that they were missing.
Missing.
When the officers finally did get the date of the event, they went to retrieve the tapes and were kind of spooked when they found them missing. But I think they located a backup copy that was retained somewhere else at the center. But
oh, really?
That was interesting, and I kind of tried to follow up on that just a little bit, but I didn't really pursue it in depth.
What can we say about all of this? But it was a night of an anatomy of a sighting, and I want to thank you, Kenny Young, for bringing it to us. We're out of time.
Well, thank you.
And
I enjoyed it.
It played out just right. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
Good night. That's Kenny Young, and there you heard the real thing, the whole thing, what occurred in Trumbull County. And I guess, as always, you're adults, and you can make up your own mind.
Oh, here we go, Paul.
Listen, Sunday, Brad Steiger is going to be here on Dreamlands. For tonight, that's it. I'm Art Bell. Good night.
I'm looking at his website on the old Wayback Machine.
Oh.
And it is just a lot of, like, UFO reports.
You want to drop me a link?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to. Why, I'd be delighted. There you go.
All right.
It's not a great website.
No, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah. It's basically just like a list of UFO sightings. But he's a skeptic.
But he's a skeptic.
If it was literally dozens and dozens of UFO sightings on here. Yeah.
Mostly, I'm not getting much exciting here.
Yeah. UFO video from the Department of Energy. Oh my. Oh my.
Are you seeing something other than just black screen?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of text and different stuff.
I'm not seeing anything.
Well, that's what you get for using a Mac.
Maybe.
Anyways.
Like,
well, here, I'll send you just. This is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, this isn't. I'm not on the Chrome. Maybe that. Although I didn't have Chrome back then.
No. These are all links you can click on and do stuff.
Gotcha.
This is fascinating broadcast right here.
Yes, this is you and I.
Yeah.
Troubleshooting. Well, Dave, we reached the end. We skipped over apparently the good calls.
We skipped over the good calls. Yeah.
It's apparently was the various police officers running up and down the street.
Yes. Tracking this down to Brookline or whatever it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very few Bigfoots got shot, which I consider
that's right on the Bigfoot shot scale.
Yeah, see, so that's what the site I'm seeing.
And
those are all links you can click on. They bring stuff
okay. Well, everyone can check that out at home at the
Skeptic. Yeah.
The Skeptic and the Future Homework. All right.
Home.fuse.net/UFO. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, I mean, this is actually more is advertised than like the Stargate guy. To be fair, this was definitely, I believe these were legitimate 911 calls. Or actually, not even so much 911, like clearly like recording their dispatch radio conversations.
Yeah, this was not some elaborate hoax. These were real. Whether or not it means anything, these were real conversations with real people.
That's right. So at least that was something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Dave,
are you turning into a pumpkin, Paul? Is it time?
Yes, we're coming up on 4 hours. The show's done.
Yeah.
So I feel like, if you have a joke that would tap.
Paul.
Yes,
do
Dave.
I have a joke?
Do you?
Do I have a joke?
No, maybe.
You know I got a joke.
All right.
Hey, Paul.
Yes, Dave.
This one's a little risque.
Ooh.
If you have any children, young children in the audience, now's the time.
That's right.
Cover their ears.
Mm-hmm.
The kids love listening.
Because the kids love our
talk about 80s sci-fi and
they sure do.
And aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Paul,
yes,
tell
Dave.
me this, Paul. Riddle me this. What does American beer have in common with making love in a canoe?
What does American beer have in common with making love with a canoe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Dave. What does American beer
They're
have in
both
common?
fucking close to water.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
There you go.
Well done.
There you go. Yep.
Well done.
Congratulations, everybody.
We're so proud. This is the one we're going to send off to the Smithsonian.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there YouTube award? Tubies? Can we win awards?
Streamies? I don't know, something.
Streamies? I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, Dave, for being here. We will see everyone next time we have a show.
Thank you, Paul.
Whenever that might be. Later.
And that's the end of our show. It's the Dave Funko Pop.
And we're off.
Yep.
Well, there we go. That was the show.